I mean, they are the kings of Brazil for a reason. We've seen it 24 times now. The opportunity for the 25th as MIBR is still in desperate pursuit of their first win of the year, currently sitting at 0-6. But on the attacking side of Ascent, I think all eyes go towards this player right here, Paula. He's been regarded as the future of Brazilian Valorant. There's a lot of hope on this kid's shoulders, but it's a tall task he's facing here.
He looked very confident in the walkout, but something that was interesting was Mazin trying to help him put the in-ears in.
He's not going to be able to help him there as he is the first to fall. Kawanzin on the other side delivering the death blow. So Dora goes down. MIBR still managed to control a lot of this B site. Loud, locked out.
Hey, got a little bit of a tag. Bomb's still not planted yet as well. Spike rather. Now it's just getting down, but this flank that's coming into fruition. There was a KO dagger that landed at B main as well. Gives the info for this. Maybe an Omen flash? Oh, Pancata already used it.
Meanwhile, the fight goes off and back. Spawn, Artine will fall. Liazi on the swing will crumble at the hands of Pancata as well. Loud looks so comfortable here.
Yeah, they're not rushing anything. Mazin has to come up huge right here for MIBR. Can't connect.
That's such a tough ask. So a flawless round to kick things off for Loud.
And they took their time with it, Doug. They were so patient, so rehearsed on that retake.
Flawless.
Didn't rush a damn thing, and they still had 10 seconds left. Guess that's what you have to do when you have the numbers advantage like that. Kawazin getting that entry on the rookie right here. Nice work.
Tough to have us over there with the sheriff in hand. But very well played. I think you're right. They played it very slowly. I think they were very methodical in their approach, and that's often been the DNA of Loud, right? They seldom feel bothered. They seldom feel frantic in their approaches.
And if you let them set up a retake like this, it's just nearly impossible to deal with because they are so rehearsed. They're so dialed in on their timings. They don't really give away anything free. So you kind of have to disrupt a team like Loud before they set up for that retake.
Kawanzin playing with a little bit of fire.
Yeah. Almost got burned.
Here. Meanwhile, Paula's taking some space, but he's already been spotted, and that's a dash now gone. So we'll see if they can make anything happen around that.
Because something else we can mention is the Killjoy versus the Cypher. I think both characters have their net positives. But I mean, less on Cypher is a spectacle to behold. You're going to see him taking a lot of fights on the attacking side in B main, at least, and then probably mixing up his trips on this defensive side. It's a very slow approach on this eco round for MIBR. They're trying to feel out the map, trying to feel out the setups of Loud.
I like what they're trying to do here, though. They just smoke deep in mid, which is often indicative of a split B, but if that's where they want to end up, they're a little late behind it.
Ooh, Kawazin, he almost got caught right there.
Meanwhile, it's Liazi who falls. Rich is going to join him.
30 seconds
and
left.
MIBR, yes, they don't have a weapon advantage, but they really have no space on the map either. With 20 seconds left in the round, the spike is still by Swan. They haven't really found much, A top spot for them to be in.
Looks like they have an opportunity here to maybe get something going, but not. Tui's cleaning up the round with 3. That outlaw buy, but it's the Sheriff that closes it out for them. And they did a really good job, Loud, of just holding their ground, holding their position. Kawazin not falling there to Mazin up middle. That was the key factor into this round and basically what shut out MIBR from pulling off any type of bomb plant or even getting onto the site.
One enemy remains.
It's that nice cleanup,
Flawless.
nice Sheriff shots connecting for Tui's on that jet roll. Haven't seen him play that in so long. Maybe in ranked.
Yeah, it's been a while. Back-to-back flawless rounds for Loud. MIBR still looking for their first kill of the map. This might be where they do it. You take a look at the buy for Loud. You've got a smattering of different bits of weaponry.
Ooh, that knife does connect on the Tui's. That jiggle will make him found out, but Mazin, he gets spammed almost to no HP.
Really nice swing from Sadak.
Spike
Taking
down
matters into
A.
his own hands.
I got the spike.
Getting a couple of kills with Hollis there to trade. Now, what's the response on the other side of this from MIBR? Hollis just got tagged again, and Tui's confident on the swing. Putting down the opposing jet. Yeah. Again, a big advantage here for Loud.
The rewalk through mid as well. Finding the timing on Artzine. It's pretty new to that Killjoy role.
I mean, Mazine has no choice.
Yeah, it's going to be an angle to save maybe here, unless he can catch off any of the defenders making a mistake. But I don't think that Loud are going to give him anything right now. There's no reason to lean towards B whatsoever. You got 2 Cypher chips there, 1 in mid, 1 B main as well. Only thing you got to worry about is Cat or A main.
So you can tell, I mean, as we think about the round that we just saw, given that it was their first gun round, MIBR's, you can tell what the plan was. The intentions were pretty clear. I think execution, Dre, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, because to me, the execution felt sluggish. It didn't feel decisive. It didn't feel confident.
It could feel like that. But, I mean, MIBR, they were just trying to set up for an actual hit onto A or whatever. It's the proactivity from Loud that was the deciding factor. They took the fight to MIBR in that A main. That KO pop flash, the stinger, everything of the sorts. And honestly, one of the players from MIBR actually tried playing anti. Rich, the rookie, he turned that flash, but just couldn't connect on the flick. The trades were there for Paula, but it just wasn't enough. You said Tui's was confident there, but I think Paula was a little bit too confident as well after getting those first 2 trades. Just sitting in the open, crouched. I mean, that's so hard to convert a kill like that, relying on your mechanical talent.
Tui still with the outlaw.
He hasn't slowed down a bit. He's going to get another one right here. Oh my gosh.
That was pretty. He really hasn't had any reason to slow down. I think it's part of the issue.
Yeah, the disruption in these last couple of rounds from everybody on the side of Loud has been nothing short of spectacular.
Well, and you think about what an approach would be for a team of Loud's caliber, playing against a team who's making their debut, really, as Tui's gets forward, Ace potentially on the other side. He's going to have to do it with the Sheriff, and you can tell Kawanzine, the good teammate that he is, handing it over. The eye-by-power race for Loud. It doesn't get much easier than that.
Yeah, he's making Jet look insane right now on the defensive side.
9-0.
Running rampant.
That's wild.
And he got kills everywhere. I mean, what, the first 2 kills were in mid. He even overextends right here with a jump peek, connects onto the head, goes all the way back to B side. He's everywhere in this round.
Mr. Worldwide.
And then Artzine, he gives up on trying to shoot the player that's just jumping around because he knows he wants to deny the ace, but he just couldn't connect. That's so based. Halves that you can have. Let's see what they can do. It's definitely not over yet. It's still really early on in that timeout. Maybe there's something that Frauds has seen to help his team get on the board. Unless we'll just sit in B main and take a gunfight. Why not?
Yeah, to have been a fly on the wall, because I think, again, when you're this new, I mean, there are so many things that need to be a part of the conversation. Some messy shots from Les there. Paul was able to get the best of them. And so this is very reminiscent of what happened in the pistol round. Remember, they got the pick mid, and then they had all B space. So they were able to get the spike down, and ultimately they lost the retake attempt, yes. But this time it's a 4v4, though.
Oh, look at this retake setup right here. Knives have been popped for Tui's. That Omen flash doesn't connect onto Rich, but still a trade.
Here.
1-for-1 found. Blade still on mine. Tui's not spotting a target. Paula's on the swing, and Tui's is there to punish one more time. 59 HP. He's taking some damage. Liazzi striking beautifully, though, as MIBR are on the board.
Yeah, that was a way better post plant for MIBR. And a part of that was less with that challenge onto Paula. I mean, he just couldn't settle his crosser, couldn't settle his movement on those shots. He was shooting a little bit too fast, a little too frantic. But Tui's, I mean, he almost went crazy on this retake. But it was this right here, Liazzi, who got into market, made it nearly impossible for Loud to execute that retake, honestly. That's such a pivotal spot to be in.
Disruption again, the name of the game. MIBR fast here off of a paranoia. The blades are popped. You see the Hunter's Fury out as well. Not going to tag. Sight once again theirs. Kawanzine falls though. They've gotten a little bit of space. Paula.
Spike planted.
Those knives will not do.
Still adjusting to the main stage for sure.
No, here Tui's has an op in hand. shot rattling off, not connecting. MIBR still with site control. And it's very reminiscent of what we saw in the previous round. Remember, it was Liazi who flanked around through mid. This time it's Artine who's going to try to do the same thing. But as is always the case in these late flanks, timing is everything. If MIBR can deal with some of what Loud are trying to do and allow our team to get into a good position, he may have a shot at this, but Rich and Liazi crumble.
Last player standing.
And it's all on our team now, and with just a couple of seconds left and no teammates to fight alongside, Tui's is going to be able to stick the defuse. That's another round the way of Loud.
And once more, if you do not disrupt Loud on their retake protocols, I mean, they're gonna own you.
Yeah, you almost have no shot.
The KO molly that lands into heaven, it still hits out hell. It floods everybody to a spot where that Omen flash is going to connect. And Pancata just coming out of that switch area, he's able to clean up 2 kills for free, basically. But yeah, that's that adjustment that needs to be made. Oh, beautiful, they lined up for him. So another clean retake, and that late flank from Artsy, it was just not on point, not on time. The players on the site couldn't live for nearly long enough.
I will say, though, I do want to give some credit to Paula, and sometimes it does seem a little ill-advised, forced, if you will, but you think about in the previous round, that push into heaven.
He could have gotten that kill.
Easily could have, and that's what you want out of a duelist, right? You've got sight, scale, go make a play, go take a little bit more space, go be aggressive. And I think when you think about a player making a debut, that's not something you always see.
That is true. That is very true. Someone who we did see do things like that, though, was Artsy in his debut.
Hang on, Tui's with the op. Paula first to tag. Nicely done with the Cloudburst to stay alive. Dash away. You imagine MIBR are going to want to go fast here. They don't have Rich. He's waiting on the other side. He used it as a shotgun. He gets 2, not able to settle on the 3rd, but Kalanzine joins in. Mazine is on the site, but he doesn't have the spike. And again, Rich so far away from the play. Oh, he spotted him. That's a very nice shot, though, and that's going to buy a little bit more time. With 30 seconds left, there's still so much left to do. Mazine will fall.
30 seconds left.
Rich in a 1v2. So far away from the spike.
Louder showing a lot of respect right now to Rich. So he does have an opportunity here to get that bomb planted, get that spike planted, and he has a dart up as well. Omen flash, KO flash.
10 seconds left.
Mollies, TPs, pretty much full utility for this retake. A perfect molly.
Does a little bit of damage. There's the molly, there's the paranoia, and there are the closing shots from Sadak to get Loud another round.
I was kind of worried for Loud at first, giving a player like Rich all that type of space, but they're so confident in their utility on the retake, and that's why, right? The molly to basically make Rich go into a spot where that Omen flash is going to connect. Oh, here was that no scope. I feel like it rarely works that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, when the barrel's in the face, it better connect.
Very nicely handled by Loud. I think part of the issue, too, is I don't think they realized where the spike was. So you had to respect Rich. You had to respect his positioning, and given how much time was left on the clock. So into the 8th round we go. 2 rifles in the hands of MIBR. Very little success found. And it has just felt like an uphill struggle.
Yeah, 6-1. It's definitely tough. I'm wondering if they lose these next 2 rounds, maybe another timeout for this half.
Possibly.
That dagger did connect.
Smokes out. Paula tries getting ahead of it a little bit, but not been able to find any success. That was clean, though. Out from Rich, dropping Pancata. This op hasn't really done a lot, but it's finally starting to settle. Sadak getting the best of Liazi. A little bit of space found on the site. Still not enough to commit to the plant, though.
That was so chaotic for a moment. Now,
it was ugly.
Finally some settling to the storm.
And so here, our team's gonna get the spike down, or should, barring that. Oh, that was very close. But he has his ult online. Does he force it here? It doesn't matter. Instantly gets dropped by Kalanzine.
And again, another great retake from Loud. They look so good, so coordinated on these retakes. The utility also is just so on point right now. There was a shock dart kill from Kawazine on the bomb, on the spike planter. Some really nice things being done from Loud, and yeah, it was a little scrappy. The re-swing, Rich just unaware that Tui's was going for more, and then Sadhak running through the door on his lonesome. That was really interesting, to say the least, but still, they convert. Another round win, another retake round win. And you look at the scoreboard right now, that's 3 rounds in a row where they've defused the spike. So right now for MIBR, you gotta figure something out on these post plants.
Aggressive from Loud, disruptive from Loud, less opping, dropping Paula. Meanwhile, Tui's is in your lap. So aggressive, so decisive again.
And there's trips on A for anybody that's trying to flood. Smart from Liazi to walk up here.
Top of the door, Kamanzin spamming through. Liazi was patient, wisely, not to commit to the cross. No Mazine on the other side.
Yeah, he's on an island. He just saw Pancata, but his timing might be bad. I say that, but the slow approach on the retake for Loud, it might actually be a thorn in their side. They got to speed up right now because Mazine's about to come up huge.
2 big kills there. Kamanzin and Pancata fall. Still less than Tui's in the play. And that might be enough. 2v2 now. Tui swings a little bit too far out. Can the op do anything here? Will they even give him the swing? Les gets his one, but Mazine with 3 on the round. Just like the only other round that MIBR have won, it was off of a late flank. The timing was good. They were able to strike, and that gets them around.
And it's interesting because Pancata was actually holding for that for quite some time. So Mazine actually found the perfect timing on that late flank, and the players on site did a really good job of surviving for long enough to allow that to happen. Really good job, and honestly, this was looking disastrous at the beginning. It was a really good aggressive defensive push from the side of Loud. Will be 2 rounds on the board for MIBR after that.
Couple of flashes traded, and now the ult used.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna survive. Very nicely handled. They're dueling ults. With no kills found.
I don't know how Mazin just came out of that only taking like chip damage from his own Sova ult.
Whoa! Smooth steps Paula with the smoother shot.
So precise on that one.
I mean, I get why people are excited about this kid. Had some really nice moments. Kamanzin falls. Nicely handled by Arzine on the swing. Rich now pushing forward, and MIBR again have found success enough to get out onto the site. It does not look like there's a late flank here or anything they're going to have to worry about. So Loud, yes, they're at a numbers deficit, but they can turn their attention fully forward. I worry about the weaponry, though. I mean, Tui's has an op in hand. He just took a ton of damage, down to 55 HP, no armor.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard to bring back. Sadhak.
He's got a lot to do here. Settles the first, gets the second, not able to land onto the third, but Loud have cut their losses already. They've scattered. Tui's down to 1 HP, is more concerned about saving the op. Wisely so. If Les can get a couple of these exits, these matter. They don't have a ton of money. Liazi denied exit. Mazine will fall too. Every single weapon on the ground.
Yeah, when disaster strikes, you gotta bring back something from it. And getting those guns out of the hands of MIBR is everything. Look at how Mazine was just finessing back and forth right there. But it was that entry, both these entries, previous duelist and current duelist, opening up that entire A site, allowing for a 5v3 post-plant scenario. Really good work so far. MIBR crawling back into this half slowly.
It's 3 rounds on the attack side, so we'll see how much more they can put together.
Placing swarm grenade.
Early paranoia. It seems like they want to go fast towards B. They're going to have to deal with these trips. Paula over the top. Nicely handled to dodge away from the dart, but you don't dodge away from Les.
You should run.
Meanwhile, everything else is already starting to rotate over too. He's trying to get some high ground with Liazi waiting on the other side of the smoke, having to wait for the lockdown. He's going to die while it happens. This is very nicely handled by Loud, but the spike is out. MIBR are out.
Full info on the members of MIBR as well. A 4v2. This is going to take some heroics from the side of MIBR. Mazine, he was the deciding factor in one of their post plants.
Remember how often you've highlighted Loud look comfortable. They look confident in these retakes. They're going to have to do it again. A 4v2 still in their way, even though they lost 1 for it. And the outcome is the same. And yes, this one doesn't feel as indicative given the massive numbers deficit that MIBR was facing, but it doesn't really matter how you do it. That's another one for Loud.
Yeah, Loud are a team that are willing to grind out wins. They've never been afraid of that. I mean, they go down a lot of the times on the first map. So for them to start like this on a first map is a good sign. And this coordinated fight together.
One enemy remaining.
Fight anybody that's holding the lockdown, and then it was that flank from Pancata. He had full info that entire time because of that Cypher ult that was invested from Les. So even with the player dropping early and making it a 3v2 retake, I mean, that flank is just so strong.
The timing is miserable to deal with. The buy is
Miserable.
odd.
Yeah, it's last round right now.
Yeah.
MIBR feeling the negative effects of those exit kills that Loud got in one of those rounds previous.
He's isolated. Yeah, Tui's had really no one to cover him because Les was smoked off.
It's a
There's
great
no
opener.
one to watch that. Now in the smoke, unable to settle. It's a little bit more damage done.
Oh, that's a free B site as well.
Sleep,
Oh,
brother.
but what is that from Rich? A little bit antsy, a little bit too ambitious of a peek in the mid. The numbers game was won.
Oh, look at Liazi's positioning. He's tucked, he's hidden. Sadak has no idea.
Beautiful spray control.
And so MIBR have a numbers advantage here. They've got a rifle in hand too for Artzine. Can Loud settle this? The paranoia is so good, but Kamazine seems to be better. Mazine on the trade. Pancata by himself. Healthy too. No damage dealt so far. Time short though. But Spike has been going off for a little bit. A lot of the onus here on the controller to make a play, and he slipped the net.
Yeah, but this crossfire is too deadly. I mean, maybe.
I mean, the crossfire doesn't matter. He's already gotten his way through.
Oh my gosh.
It's been smoked off. He's got to challenge the smoke. Mazine goes in aggressive. He's gotten it to one. He's gotten it to half. The flash in his face. He tucks with the shorty in hand. The spike goes off. The round goes away of MIBR. That was way closer than it ever should have been.
Switching sides.
He snuck straight into there and almost finessed around. But good work from Liazi from start to finish of that round. Getting that kill in mid, then closing it out at the end there, just delaying time.
That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, a good salvation to a half that looked like Loud was going to run away with, and that was a nasty entry. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they put Tui's out there in a position, yes, with an op in hand and how hot he's been, it makes sense to make a play. But Rich was just better in that moment. There was no way for Les to help over the smoke, and then, again, that was almost... that was almost disastrous. But it works out the way of MIBR. They get to their fourth rounder, and all of the other extenuating factors that are taking place around it, that's tough.
Yeah, the head-to-head is definitely something that you go into and you're like, damn, this guy's good. But also, it makes it so you have something to prove. That info on that cam, that's all three members being seen for the side of Loud. Now they can speed up B, but the delay game, it's been pretty good so far.
The Artzine molly and then the smoke, but Loud funnel anyway. They flood out past it. They try to get out onto the site, and they're ahead of MIBR here.
Yeah, that solo swing from Artsy, had he waited just a couple more seconds for his teammates to get in, maybe a different outcome. But either way, there's also a mid deposit here of Pancata. He's gonna get caught out.
He doesn't know. First shot goes a bit wide, but Mazine able to clean him up.
He's been so good.
And so this is going to allow them to swing up from spawn. Les forced to wait on the other side as Paula gets a little bit more aggressive, tries to dash out, but he's been lit up, and now he's dead. MIBR, really, you're starting to feel the struggle of them trying to get out onto the side, and honestly, they had some of the tools that they needed to do it.
And you're also starting to see the struggle of only playing together before this match for, what, 2 days? No one was there to shoot the dart. It was a little bit uncoordinated. Artsy on a different page than the rest of his squad, who was about to flood in with him. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a disconnect so far, but this is to be expected, I think, from a roster that, you know, has only had 2 days of practice going into this match. And Loud, I mean, they're playing to that advantage, to the max. Not really changing the wheel, just doing some very simple strategies so far in that pistol round at least.
One suppressed.
And now just an A main default. Wine knife that'll clear out all of wine. It's a little bit of A main.
Tags Liazi with it.
They're still a little worried. They're worried about a trap setup here.
As they should be.
Yeah. But the name of the game has been extremity control so far in this round for Loud, and they haven't gotten fought on either side. The problem is, now that they're all leaving A, They're running into a stack, so if there's no utility invested, like a drone or anything, and they decide to just exec dry, they're gonna run into a blender.
The only real delay utility, Liazi's still on the other side of the map. He's the only one with the molly. The camera, or the turret, excuse me, has already been traded out. But they still don't like it.
Yeah, that dagger landing onto multiple players, they understand that it's a B main stack. Les, he's gonna get timing. Oh, I say that, but he just B hops away in time.
And Paula has to give up pursuit. But again, MIBR are ahead of this. They've rotated so quickly, but when you've just got pistols, what can you do? Rich and Paula, the two newcomers to the roster, the only ones left standing. And now it's all on the duelist. With a classic in hand, facing 3 from Loud. Trying to buy his time. A 4 and 13, a couple of targets spotted, one of them dealt with. The situation is not getting any easier for the kid.
Oh, he did get an upgrade, but the up-down is too strong for Loud. And yeah, I mean, Loud didn't run into a stack, but I think MIBR did a really good job of making this costly. Now, this is the round that we need, that MIBR need to convert. They need to win this, and they need to win it clean, because if they win it, but everyone drops with their guns, or they only keep a player alive, their economy is going to be in shambles. Basically sets Loud up to just secure this round win, this map win as well.
I mean, they may have already. That pistol is tough.
And the economy right now for Loud, it's looking great. I mean, look at this buy, and they have full buy next round as well. A fast A main take. Not going into an execute unless just going up mid. It's a very common thing that we've seen on maps like this. 4-1s. You show heavy A main. Your Cypher or Killjoy walks up mid. Don't really have to worry too much about that B main control off the rip, because you can just come back and re-clear it.
So far, all going according to script. You've got to keep an eye on Artzine's alarm bot mid. You wonder here, I mean, MIBR are getting a little proactive here. A peek towards mid to see if there's anything there.
I like that, but it does give Loud the info that there were 2 players peeking cat, which probably means there's 3 there. Because someone's got to be watching A main. That's why you see this KO ult invested into the B main hit, dodging all utility. It will be a 5v5 post-plant retake scenario.
What a mess this will be. The dart back site too. Not going to tag anyone. MIBR are going to have to try to deal and try to replicate what Loud were so good at in the first half. Can they get a retake the same way?
That was a good knife connected from Liazi. They connected on 2 players, but nothing being done with that.
Exactly. Where's the follow-up? Where's the go? The paranoia out now. You've got a Molly that's waiting on the other side as Paula, expecting some utility that never comes. Still swings out, drops Kawanzin, but pays for it with his life.
Time, Doug.
It's so short. But Liazi's gotten a couple of kills. How much more can he find, though? Les, forced to sit back. He's so far away from the play. Spam going to connect onto 1, but even if it wasn't for that, they should have, and they did. 1.57 left. That was closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, good work from MIBR to just flood stairs like that and get those kills on the members of Loud that were getting aggressive. But for the side of Loud, I mean, if they had just survived for 1 second longer, 2 seconds longer here, instead of doing this and everyone swinging out, they win the round. So a good round win for MIBR. They keep their economy kind of stable.
Stable enough.
Yeah, stable enough to have a 4 rifle buy. And that Judge, I mean, it could be so strong on this map. We've seen Sadhak use it the most out of any player, I feel like. Him and Vanity.
I'm curious about what the setup is. Yeah, I didn't know if they tried to tuck him into wine or whatever it was, but it seems like they've opted to put him up close. And there are members of Loud waiting.
I just wonder if Sadhak is aware of this, seeing the money that Liazi has. I wonder if he thinks that he's going to take a page of his own book, but it might be a dry swing.
It's a dry swing.
Great
Only
trade.
1 kill found, though, yeah.
I think that's a W for Loud. That could have been deadly.
Yeah, it could have been 2, perhaps even 3. Keep an eye on Mazine and his positioning. Spamming through, Kawanzin will fall. But again, the duelist only able to get 1.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job of getting that first blood, that first kill, Paula. But
that's kind of it.
He gets traded so fast.
And that's massive props to Loud for being able to do that every time.
That's how you deal with a star duelist.
Or someone who's looking to make a name of himself.
That was messy from Sadhak.
Artsy nicely handled. Les and Picada left for Loud. They've gotten the spike down. They just need to buy their time here as best as they can survive. Pancada left alone, a 1v2. Artsine weak, he will fall. The snap onto Mazine, not connecting yet. But time is short, 85 HP, no armor. Pancada takes a slight step back, buying his time, forcing Mazine to make a play. And it's Pancada who comes out on top, the Red Bull clutch, as Loud get 11.
That's the Pancada we know. He didn't really show that in the last series against EG, but he's back. Warmed up on the stage, nice clutch. And the trading game from Loud, it's been amazing. Not allowing that judge to get multiple players.
Enemy remaining.
And then that 1v3 from Pancada at the end. That's vintage almost.
And it's so smart. You know that the spike is down. You know you're weak. Instead of forcing the fight, he tucks into hell, baits him in.
He played that 1v1 to perfection.
Very beautifully done. Meanwhile, Paula looking to get aggressive with a Guardian in hand. Getting a kill, a second. Sadak.
These are the moments where he gets the first blood. Now he gets 2 this time. But he was out mid for, what, 25 seconds already?
Felt like an eternity.
It's absurd.
That was the only rifle they had, too.
3 members of MIBR went mid to support Paula there.
All right, how do they
good reason.
keep a close eye on this? Pancada's TP towards back B. MIBR had an opportunity to try to flood out, but they're patient.
Oh, this would be an insane timing.
They've contacted out,
Remaining.
but they all fall.
What a timing from Loud. Pancada and Les just smothering them from 2 different angles.
Feeling area.
Good coordination, though, on that. You saw that Pancada's peeking at the same time as those players are coming through the smoke out of B-main. And now it's up to Mazine in a 1v3 with just a stinger to his name. Yeah, he's got some utility, but he's getting wrapped by Les right now as we speak. He's going to be taken out shortly. There it is. Loud sitting at match point.
Match point. Let's close up shop.
I mean, they've just so effectively dismantled MIBR from top to bottom.
Yeah, on MIBR's map pick as well. It seems to be the story about a lot of these teams. These new rosters. Maybe some nerves on their map pick.
Remaining.
On the first map in general. And it's new. It's new for them, right? To be fair, Paula, yeah, he's sitting at 9 and 17. I've seen that's crazy. It's the end of an era for sure.
They always find a way. We'll see if they can do it again. Currently sitting at 2 and 4, but I've got to remind you guys again, the record that they have against Brazilian brethren is ridiculous. And it doesn't seem like that's going to change today.
Yeah. And SDK brought up a good point. He's like, I know Fraud's going to want this win so bad. And it makes sense knowing the history between those two.
And if Fraud is anything, he's a competitor, man. He's a fighter.
It's like Artsin's got some fight to him still. Picks up that kill under the IGL of Sadhak. The thing about Sadhak, though, is like, he's playing Neon on a lot of these maps. He plays KO, and he plays it pretty aggressively. Nice kill from Liazi on the lurk on Les. But even when he falls short, even when he goes for an early aggressive kill and it doesn't go his way, he's still able to IGL at that moment and just micro his teammates, mid-round them around. Beautiful kill from Kyle Hazine. Oh my goodness, that was insta.
Talk about microing your pieces around. Kawanzin will pay for it.
Mid.
He will fall. Tui's and Pancada left alive for Loud. Oh. And Pancada continues to be Pancada.
30 seconds
Now
left.
it is full info now for MIBR that there was a player in mid, there's a player in B main.
This would be a tragic way for this map to end.
Yeah, especially with Tui's being so low on the jet right now. Oh, can't connect.
Rich not able to settle the shots. The only player from MIBR who's not in the play right now is Mazine, but he's starting to rotate over. They haven't really made their way out. Tui's and Pancada fall. We're going to play at least one more round.
Yeah, nice round from MIBR. If Loud are going to give us free kills, why not? We'll take them. Walk into my crosshair. That's pretty much what happened for Artsine and Liazi in that round. But look at their economy. They win the round and it's still in shambles. You can't see it right now because we're seeing the replay. I love this angle. So satisfying when you connect this shot.
That's a LAN angle.
Enemy remaining.
1000%. Don't try that one at home.
Yeah, Les tried to, he actually tried to perfect peek that as well. He did a little crouch swing on that. looks like we are getting back into it right now as well.
MIBR with 4 ults to their name. Mazine 1 away from theirs.
Yeah, and a scrappy buy for Loud. I mean, both squads kind of all over the place
Get out of my way.
in terms of the economy.
Yeah, but the Blades are often the difference maker.
And I just spoke about how good Tui's has been with them so far. Let's see what he can do here. He's getting set up with full utility.
Liazi's really far away from the play. It doesn't matter because Tui's falls, but they pop the ult to get the knives down. Rich getting in on it as well. 2 ults invested, 3 kills found.
Yeah, and that was nice play. I'm a big fan of what MIBR just set up and how they did it. They understand the win condition for Loud is just Tui's dashing in with those knives. That KO ult being popped denies that completely. All of a sudden, Artson gets a free kill. Rich is using his Sova ult in a diagonal crossfire in that market area as well. Actually ends up connecting on a player in B main. I mean, he'll take that.
They're just really able to pick them apart. I think Artzine also being able to carry his ult into the next, barring an investment here late, certainly bodes well for MIBR. But all of that said, Loud still have 2 rifles in hand, and they have a free A site.
It's very free, and that's why you see Kawazine kind of prodding up in this space. This dagger will be the info for MIBR that it's probably going to be an A plant.
It's such a deep knife, too. Fully clearing everything out. I think the question is, do Loud play this back? Kawazine is really far up.
Yeah, Liazi spotted him. That's why you see the pop flash setup.
He's in a 1 and done. Takes a step back, drops a dart, somehow stays alive. He's just being a nuisance, buying as much time as he possibly can. The benefit to MIBR, though, is that they have numbers. They can send 1-2 to deal with him and then turn attention back site. Sadok's left alone, can't deal with the remaining members of MIBR. So the defensive side will get to their 7th.
Yeah. Good patience from MIBR to just hold that setup, have crossfires. Liazi spotted Kawazine there. They had this little awkward standoff for a second, but then the instant reaction for Liazi to come back a little bit more into spawn, set up that pop flash so nobody gets picked off early on to take that space back from Loud. That was nice.
Here we see some of the makings of that play that you mentioned at the beginning of the round with the Hunter's Fury.
He connected. Oh.
Nice. Well, guys. Boy, Rich. Nice ulti, nice.
Okay, some vibes from the squad of MIBR. Not bad. Not bad. But yeah, that Hunter's Fury from Rich connected on a player B main and right there.
Loud have 5 light armor. Let's see if they can kind of navigate this as well as they can to close out the map. Paul is getting active. But just not able to punish.
Yeah, not confident enough on that specific swing, but maybe the trade right here. Rich has an opportunity to kill the drone. A little late, though. Didn't take his window of opportunity. Maybe that inexperience showing a little bit.
He was set up really well. Meanwhile, Mazine having to deal with 3. Manages to drop 1, but a flash in his face. Now Loud kind of thrown into disarray a little bit here. They have a couple of options. They still have plenty of time to figure out where they want to end.
And I get it from the side of Loud. I get why Sada called to go A there. You just got 2 kills in mid with a lean towards B. You droned into B main. You might think that those players of MIBR are going to rotate and bite on that drone, but they didn't. And it worked out to their benefit. MIBR now have a chance to bring this round back. It's a 3v4.
35 seconds left. Sada controlling his troops.
There's 1.
I mean, just gets obliterated. Kawazine does too. Liazi's been crispy these last couple of rounds. Another numbers disadvantage for the attacking side. Oh! What? That's how that ends?
Sadok! The IGL, he took thing into his own hand. This working on your foundation, your fundamentals, making sure that you're doing good on the post plants, the retaking game. Honestly, just defaulting in general could be a mess when you're a new team. So these are all things that we need to look forward for MIBR. That's a great start.
Yeah. Maybe that's the difference. Is get Tui's off the duelist and Paula can just diff Sadok on the other side. Who knows?
Hey, it's early on right now. I want to keep in mind that Sadok, he was putting up some numbers on when they played against EG.
He was. And again, he closed out the last map. But MIBR with the numbers advantage, they have full control of A. They should be able to get the spike down. We'll see what kind of utility they have left. They don't really have a ton. I mean, Paula's got his nade. That's kind of it.
Pretty good nade to split the opposition, but no shots really connecting. Paula gets taken out. Rich with a trade.
Numbers the way of the attack still. And it seems to have gotten a little bit better, but Loud always punch back just when you think they're going to be able to walk away with a round. Oh, they keep it competitive. If they snatch this back, what a nightmare.
Kawazin is dirty. He's filthy. What was that one tap?
4 on the round as the pistol goes the way of Loud.
And it looked like it would have been MIBR in full control, taking that one away. That entry from Paula, it was so clean. Having the nade to basically split the retake up.
Headshot.
But when he upgraded to that Sheriff, he just couldn't connect any Sheriff shots. And then that shot was ridiculous from Kawazin. This one was kind of free. But the disconnect there, right? Mazin, yeah, that flank probably works 9 times out of 10, but everybody dropping like flies before then, that's the problem.
So into the next we go, you take a look at the artillery for Loud. Arsenal they've brought into this round. It's considerable. Bulldogs, Guardians, and some aggressive space taken from Sadak already.
Yeah, and on the other side of the map, we're watching Artson right now. There's 2 rounds in a row now with that wall going up that MIBR has been semi-aggressive. Kawazin did spot that, just like Les has just spotted Liazi in front B.
Sadak caught. Not really able to find safety, not really able to get out. So he will fall. That's 1 kill found.
And that'll be a rifle grabbed as well. Not a rifle, little SMG, I guess.
It's better than nothing.
Hey, that gun is deadly in the right hands.
Yeah.
That running gun, too good with that stinger.
Here.
Cam goes up from Les. Only bit of utility from the Sentinel towards C. Pankata's here over the top with the Bulldog.
That Fade Eye actually baits out Les to pick up front B, so it's only Pankata anchoring this site right now.
Spam through the smoke, not connecting. You can see the rotations out from Loud as Les gets 2 on the round. They thought it was safe. They thought they could get through, but you just slam a face into Les in a position like that, and there's no way through. So Tui's cleans up the round. Loud get to 2, and they're going to carry, what, 2, 3 rifles into the next?
Yeah. I mean, MIBR did a good job of, you know, maintaining 2 players at A that entire time, but the problem with running this double controller composition is you don't really have that much explosive utility, especially on an eco round like that. You're not usually investing into it. Whereas yesterday when we saw EG play, you know, they're able to steal away those eco rounds because they have a breach, they have a fade. If anybody's playing in corners where they can get punished, that's when the breach comps come in full effect.
Right. Ooh, aggression out from Loud. Again, this time a fight towards A. And Paula gets the best of Sadak once more.
And everybody else has to fall back into that broken door area. This is a free A site, but all 4 members of Loud are basically grouping up and reconvening for this retake.
What utility do they have to go about this? Kawazin concerned about a late lurk towards B, and reasonably, given how that's been part of the playbook for MIBR on Ascent and now on Lotus as well. Rich with 2 big kills. Kawazin and Pankata, the only 2 that remain. MIBR with full control of the site. They've got to spike down. They have plenty of time to settle.
And for Loud right now, they're just going to go for damage. I guarantee it.
Oh, the damage went the other way. Ooh. As Pankata gets clotheslined, leaving Kawazin all to his lonesome. You're right, any damage dealt here is a success. The dink is all little B. As Kawazin falls, MIBR are on the board.
Yeah, not as disastrous as it could have been for MIBR. And you spoke about utility. What utility do they have? They had a bunch, but ultimately it was just Rich swinging in the back sight there. That was the deciding factor in that post plant. Yeah, he got stormed by utility, but this peek out, oh, that was a nice entry from Paula there. But it was this, catching Les, throwing the jump cage, and then the follow-up on the Tuis. A nice post plant this time around for MIBR. But it was off of heroics. That's what I'm worried about for this roster right now. Can you keep up the heroics against a team like this?
It's a difficult thing to do, but they're going to have to find a way. It seemed like a very similar approach to the beginning of the round for Loud. They sent Sadak in as aggressively as possible towards A, deny that space from the opposition, and then flip back.
I would love to see the replay of how Artson just got one tapped by Kawazin.
Yeah, I missed it too.
That was a pixel angle.
Les has gone exploring. And I couldn't tell if the turret was recalled or if he cleared it, but either way, Liazi and Rich getting a couple kills on the site. Kawazin has arrived on the scene, able to get 2. Crispy 3 on the round. As the eye goes up, the Nightfall goes down. Now they've got them all tagged. And now Les can get a little bit more active and a little bit more aggressive. The timing is perfect. Mazine tries to reposition and play mind games as he TP's in the smoke.
He's saving.
But there's no way for him to get out.
Kawazine just pulled off the unthinkable, a monstrous round from himself. That was ridiculous. I mean, that transfer onto the player swinging in Broken Door. I mean, I imagine we're going to see the entire highlight of him because he was a one-man army there. Look at this.
There's that pixel angle you were referring to earlier.
And
but this is what's most impressive, yeah. Fighting the guy in pit and then transitioning over to Paula there is beautiful.
And for MIBR, it was a good call. B site was open, everything was cool, but Kawazini was just a force to be reckoned with. You got to take him out. They did a really good job of getting proactive in heaven, getting the number advantage at that point.
They might not want to reckon with him anymore.
Yeah.
Bring them down.
I'd definitely be scared of him.
A different defensive look for Loud this round. They've taken so much space C.
They're so aggressive.
And MIBR are not taking enough proactive space towards A. So you see it on the minimap. The walls are closing in.
Face your fear.
Getting real uncomfortable there. They have no choice but to go forward. They drop the Nightfall of their own and try to get out towards A. Keep a close eye on Artine, who's trying to get up towards stages. As the rocket goes up, Kawanzine, no way, he didn't see him. Still lands the shots on a 2-ease.
Spike planted.
So that's the Gecko down. And the flank that I thought was going to be more active is just now starting to come online. Sadak clearing every corner, every single angle it possibly can. Meanwhile, Kawanzine again continuing to farm, making a feast of MIBR. Now Paulo's left in a 1v2. He's healthy. He tries to pre-fire the angle. Les is on the big swing. That's 3 for Paulo, though. One more left to find. Oh, he almost hit it, but Pancada just bests him again.
My goodness. Kawazine once more. Yeah, he didn't turn around and help his teammate. Didn't take out Paula, who converted that rocket kill. But with that, I mean, everyone from the side of MIBR thought that all of heaven was clear. Kawazine, he dropped into that area right there. That's that rocket kill. But Kawazine dropping here, it made it so MIBR was, they thought it was clear.
Yeah, they didn't realize
Simply
he was
put,
still there. Yeah.
Enemy remaining.
Paula, he tried his best. Nice sidesteps onto Les there. Just too many targets to deal with, too many angles to be worried about.
That's such a tough thing to try to address in the moment, too. But MIBR really have no choice. He brought 2 rifles into this round, a Guardian and a Vandal, from Zine and Arzine, respectively. And it's again, it's a different look for Loud. Nicely handled from Arzine. Remember, one of the 2 rifles that are in play.
Somebody's there.
2-East takes a step back, almost gets punished. But the counterpunch from Les is too good.
Yeah, he just runs all the way and peeks deep. Helps his teammate out.
Sadak still has a stun. Waiting on the other side of this door. As the ult goes down. Does he have enough space?
I like this from Loud so far, just calling off the flood into tree. You saw over there, 2-E's, you wanted to get a little bit antsy, get a little bit proactive with that thrash, but now to have it on the retake.
So much better.
Yeah.
So much better, but it is going to get cleared out.
Gets info though. Ooh.
The paranoia out. Also creating a little bit of space. Last down to 18 HP. Arzine waiting for anyone to drop. As Sadak tries getting active. Just can't. I mean, Loud have really been shut out of this site. They've been shut out of the round. I thought Pancada was about to have another moment. But MIBR settle it.
And that was like a light buy round from MIBR. That initial rifle that they killed got an upgrade to the round. That will be 2 for MIBR. That's awesome. Really good work from them. And Artsin, that little Viper wall where he has a cubby right under heaven there. That was such a nice little angle. I mean, I don't blame MIBR for believing that they could win that round, even with the scrappy guns that they had, when you take out a player like Kawazine, who's sitting at 9-2 before that round. That would give me the confidence to want to go in and just take that site. Why not? The Destroyer's not alive anymore.
And so into the next we go. 4 Sheriffs for Loud. MIBR very healthy here. They have 3 members with over 3,000 credits.
They played good map so far, Doug. I like the way they've approached it. I think, yeah, some of their post plants haven't been too clean, but that's to be heard of when you're a new team. It's so hard to be coordinated in a game like this.
Found you.
Nice little roll out there from MIBR with a paranoia out. Paula satchels forward. Rich should get the spike down. Wall goes up. Can Sadak get active here? They deal a little bit of damage with that ult that he's popped. Trying to drop a couple, but they're really not even giving him a fight. Oh, but Kawanzin, I mean, he's still causing problems. Sadak falls, but a weapon upgraded for the fade. 98 HP, no armor. Trying to get up close and personal, but cannot. And neither can Pakata. They deal a little bit of damage. They keep it competitive. They keep it close. But MIBR still on top.
Yeah, and now MIBR is able to build up an economy. That was a really good post plant there. Good trading coming out. I mean, Kawazin was almost going off again right there. Those 2 sheriff kills. He's so precise right now. So clean.
I mean, he tried his damnedest.
And you know what's funny? Sadak was the first guy in the site and somehow made it out to water.
Yeah.
And Kawazin's the one that goes out first.
Fills in, gets a kill.
It's so interesting how Neon works.
But
Sometimes
again,
you just be running around, jumping, doing things.
I mean, again, though, nicely done by MIBR. You know, when you've got a player like Kawanzin who's played as hot as he has on Lotus, you see his name a couple of times on the kill feed, it's easy to go, oh no, it's going to happen again. But they're able to keep things close. They're able to get the round away. Now just one, separating these 2 Brazilian squads. And MIBR have explored towards A. This is a different look from them too. This is a much quieter start to the round. No space being taken away from Loud.
Yeah, and the problem here is that this deep camera from Les, I mean, it will ultimately allow the entire team to lean towards A. We only see 3 members here right now for the side of Loud, but there's going to be much more in a second here. I say that, but Tui's might get overwhelmed by Paula. Nice entry. Rich gets another one. But this guy, Doug.
13 kills so far.
Who's going to stop him?
I mean, it's gonna have to be by committee. But again, MIBR are playing this very nicely. They slow the round down as soon as the tap goes in, the Nightfall goes out.
Only 1 player hit by that Nightfall as well.
I thought Pankata might try to ult around it to try to catch him slipping, or Kawanzin's just gonna frag out by himself. 3 on the round for him so far. Why not?
He still has a tether as well.
But he's so weak here. And 57 HP, and they're just gonna have to deal with the pit. Maybe Les can find something.
1 enemy remaining.
Here, or Pankata gets both.
He just spray and prays through the smoke, connecting onto both the members. And another round, which I feel like MIBR probably should have converted. But this man right here that we're on, Kawazin.
I want to see this Pankata 2K again. I mean, that's what secured the round. And again, man, we've been able to point to a couple of very specific things that MIBR have been doing that have worked. And they've worked really well, but then Pankata gets 2 kills like that, and like, what do you do, man?
Yeah, I think the big disconnect in that round is, yeah, okay, the inevitable is Kawazin right now. He's going to pop off.
Like walking in.
But Paula, he's most notable on Raze. Like, his Raze stats are something ridiculous. His Jet is pretty good too, but he's mainly known for his Raze. And I think that's why you're seeing him pop off. He's 8 and 6 right now, doing way better than the last map at an individual level at least. And that's just that comfortability playing on this agent.
Face your fear.
Nightfall's used early here.
It's 2 though.
There's no other layer to this. I think MIBR have fully set their sights towards A as the rocket goes out. Paula gets over the top, draws Sodox once more, but Les is there on the counter. Still playing backside, it doesn't matter if you can't hear a damn thing because you've got Kawanzin. That tandem, that duo, tries to keep MIBR back. Hardstein responding with a couple of kills of his own now, down to 39 HP. Trying to play back in hell as the spike goes down. Tui's and Pankata left to try to figure out how they deal with this retake. I think there was a moment where they spotted Tui's head, but on the swing, Liazi and Artsine clean it up.
A great answer back from MIBR. This time being proactive, peeking together on the post plant. That's one way to fix your post plants. If they're just not working when you're trying to play fundamentally sound, at least do something coordinated. And this split on A. It was the flank from Artsin. He cleans up 2 players back sight and then the double swing to clean it all up at the end. Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, deixa eu...
Just one round now between these two. And Loud have reverted back to this aggressive denial of space A at the beginning of the round. MIBR being corralled and forced in towards B.
Yeah, we've seen this round before. We've seen that entry before, but it was Kawazin the last time around.
Sadak was able to get his one, keeping things at 4 apiece. Tui's as a stinger in this round as you see this attempt at a take from Loud towards Worm with 3 out. They've got the paranoia to try to pave the way. Tui's able to get the best of Rich, upgrade a weapon, and continue to farm. Now it's Thresh. And that spit will buy a little bit of time as Artsy takes a step back.
Wow.
Leaving Pancata to his own devices. Tui's not able to settle the shots. Artsy before on the round. The possibility of an ace. Pancata playing around the smoke. The tap of the door of the spike, excuse me, as Nazine spams through, cleans him up, and we're tied at 5.
Artsin's utility in this round, yeah, he got a 4K, but his utility was on point.
Yeah.
He throws the orb into that choke of Broken Door so nobody can really flood out, and then he mollies it last second, gets a molly kill on the probably the most important player you got to take out. And I thought it was very well played on that retake from Tui's. Not actually rushing the Omen who he connected with and holding for Artsin, but Artsin in that scenario, he was just so confident on that wide swing, he cleans up the round. Nice work from MIBR, getting a 2nd round in a row. Maybe some momentum in their favor now. Economy of Loud looking like it's in shambles.
No, I mean, it is. It is.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it is. Sadak tried punishing Artsine there. Also, worth mentioning, yeah, there was a lot of hype around the Sadak duelist era, but he has struggled on this map. I think a lot of it in large part has been Paula's been able to get the best of him a couple of times in these 1v1s. That time he falls. Tui's dancing around Mound, only able to clean one up. MIBR should be able to get out onto C pretty effortlessly here. Pancata will get his one, but Sadak's gonna have to 1v3 with no armor and a sheriff to win this round.
Yeah, no stun to come out. He's just gonna have to peek out dry and hope no one's holding. No one is holding for him yet.
The positions are really nice, though.
Nice.
Well handled by MIBR. The post plants,
yeah,
very nice there.
Seriously, they did a good job of not falling to that trap that Loud had. Yeah, it was Paula who drops early on there, but the rest of the supporting cast all playing anti, all ready for that. The trades in their favor, they fought together. Good work. While that all is happening, there's that walk up front B from Liazi, giving MIBR full confidence to just look straight forward. And then at that point, 3v1, it's just easy pick'ems for MIBR. Last round of the half, MIBR, they really brought this one back.
And they've got a couple of big ults. They've got Artzine's pit. Liazi's one away from having his lockdown.
That's why you're seeing this denial of Mound at C. That door opening up should give info to MIBR.
Paula just used both of his satchels. One was to clear the trip. The other one was back towards spawn, I guess, to try to accelerate towards A. Make a little bit of noise, draw some attention from the defensive side. So far, that's what they've done.
Really good calling right now from Mazin. The macro game is being won, but Pancata, he might have something to say about it. Oh, what a timing. Paula with the entry, though.
Very nice snap. Meanwhile, Pancata's going to fall on the other side, too.
Oh, they're running circles around him right now.
Keep an eye on Kawanzin, though. Currently surrounded. There was no idea that he would have been there. Rich had passed him by accident. So he gets his, but ultimately that's all it was. Another situation where MIBR have a big numbers advantage.
You should run.
Oh, and that ult as well. This is going to be so hard for Loud to do.
Sadak tries satcheling through, or excuse me, dashing through and can't. Leaving less than a 1v3. Has to get out to try not to get detained, and that's a sad way for the half to end, man.
But a good way to end the half if you're MIBR. That was a very convincing round from start to finish. The way it was set up, the entry from Paula into Tree, and then Rich going up at that timing, it was really the rookies that had to make those solo plays. to actually sell what Mazin was trying to do. And they did a great job executing it. I mean, Pancata was not ready for that 3-man walk-up whatsoever.
Again, I've got to say it. I mentioned it on Ascent. I've got to talk about it here on Lotus. I understand the reason for the excitement from Paula. The kid has really good mechanics. There's a lot of reach shakeout. The double initiator comp, Sadak, a lot of it will be on his shoulders here to go to create some space to cause some havoc, break crosshairs. He was successful last time. We'll see if the second half tells a different story.
At the very least, break crosshairs, right? He'll get way more value on this attacking half, even if he can't convert any type of kills.
Yeah, agreed.
Just by taking all that free space. So he's already doing it right now. He's alone here. Bomb's just in the open.
But he clears the alarm bot, gets the orb.
Gotta clear this turret as well. Oh, for free. But look on the opposite side of the map. I mean, really, MIBR, they're not really moving at all.
You would think off of all of that utility that was just cleared out that there would be some sort of response, but this time a deep smoke out towards stairs, a lean towards A, and Rich should hear this. Oh. He's got to know. The paranoia is not going to hit him. Rich is patient. Oh, but Pancata just, obliterates him.
I mean, forget it. Sadhak doesn't need to clear it if you have a player like Pancata on your team, apparently.
He just knew exactly where he would be. Liazi's able to respond with 2 kills of his own, not able to connect onto the third. But Loud gets the spike down. They get the kills they need, and they get the pistol.
Yeah, it looked a little scary, but that's the power at Neon. I mean, Sadhak, he's just so fast to get in. He doesn't really accomplish anything in terms of killing players. But it broke the crosshair, right, of a Rich who was just stuck there. I mean, he's trying to track the Neon, but the movement's just so quick. Next thing you know, you got a little shotgun in your face like that.
And that's the exact conversation we were having at the beginning of the round is, yeah, it might not necessarily be lighting up the kill feed. It's not going to be a ton of things as far as that level of value goes, but that right there is the Neon's job.
The shock factor. It's nuts. Now it will just be a C default for the side of Loud, trying to bait out any utility. I have a feeling they're going to jump the gun pretty soon here with these Prowlers not connecting onto any players at C. That's why you see the bomb being picked up right now.
No way Les even gets one there.
Yeah, that was a nice flick. Good control on who he wanted to go for there. Or will be tapped here. Baits out an Omen flash. That's pretty good.
The guns on the other side, though, I think might just be the difference maker. You got a Sheriff in the hands of Rich, who's still playing pretty far off site.
So proactive in this post plant. Really aggressive. Sadak, he's going to slide onto Mazin potentially.
There.
It's just forced back so far.
Just takes the space for free. And yeah, this is going to be a crazy crossfire on the actual site. Having control of water like this. 2 players also holding this.
I remember
aggressive angle.
I mean, MIBR are going to want to die to the spike. And so if anything Loud can do to stop that.
They're going to hunt him. I mean, you have a Ghost and a Stinger on Tui's and Sadhak.
You 1000% should.
Oh, I guess Sadhak's not going to go for it. Trying to clear the flank. But successful round for Loud. And now we're tied up 7-7.
Yeah, they keep the Bulldog, they keep the Phantom. 2 members carry full armor going into the next round.
Yeah, this is a savage buy right now from Loud.
That's
3
not
rifles, a Bulldog, 4 rifles.
Yeah, that's not a bonus. That's a gun round.
Yeah, this is a gunner, and they can buy the next round as well. Sadak has 4,000 to his name. That's nuts.
So many things to their advantage here.
They've done a good job, Loud, of building up their economy on this attacking sides, even the defensive sides that they've been playing.
Hard to see some of the utility out from Loud. You've got the eye. I think MIBR feeling some of the pressure towards C. The tap of the door, there's no one playing around mid.
Yeah, Loud have set this up. They conditioned it in the previous round. No Killjoy utility broken, but you already see on the minimap, it kind of forces MIBR to play in a 1-3-1. That's the strategy. They want to fast flood if it's going to be a C or an A hit.
I think Loud are just like orb farming here. They've rotated over to C. They got 2E's to orb, who's now 1 away from having his ult. And without any real idea of whether or not the A1 has been denied, now they know it's still up. I mean, they could get the Thrash online and then end A.
And all that was spotted for Mazin was less here. There's 4 players of MIBR at C right now, Doug.
They're rotating back.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to be going into the teeth of this defense.
This is insane calling from Mazin to call a stack on your first gun round at C. He was so
30
aware.
seconds left.
And it might work.
It's gonna work.
That's the craziest part of this.
It should work.
Unless they audible and try to end back B, but it seems like they're intent on trying to get out towards C. Kalanzin will fall. Is that enough for them to flip? Yeah, it is. They've tapped the door. They're heading back A, or B, excuse me, but Paula's already here.
Spike down B.
Last getting one. It's all gone into chaos. 10
enemy
seconds left. The
remaining.
spike's not even in hand anymore.
Wow. What a call from Mazin in the mid-round to have everybody go into C site. He had a hard read on that round. He knew exactly what Sadhak was calling. That is very impressive.
And take a look at it again. I mean, the kills are going to be interesting, but you're right. The macro really decided that round.
I mean, it's Valorant. Stuff can happen. You can have a site stacked and you can still lose it potentially.
Yeah,
but
sure.
to have that read in a moment like this when you're down a map, nicely done.
Very impressive. Again, Loud had plenty of money, so they're able to buy into this round too. Light armor on 2 members. Tui's has his ult online.
It's a very fast A default. Again, leaving Sadhak here on an island. He did a good job already of baiting out Mazin's paranoia, so it's something you don't have to worry about later in the round when you want to do an exec.
They're going to end back C here. There's still a bit of this Koja utility. You've got this high-low that's miserable to deal with. I mean, if you're not double, triple facing that, you're going to lose it every time.
Molly to delay.
The Thrash gets invested. Sadhak dashes through the molly that was intended to delay, and he's got an alarm bot at his heels. But they've managed to get out.
Yeah, the power of Neon. He just takes all that space so quickly, even through all the utility that was thrown at him. And now for MIBR, that's a great pick. Just spam through the smoke, I believe.
I believe so. So 5v3 now at MIBR. No ults to speak of, but they have plenty of guns, they have plenty of utility, they've got plenty of numbers to fight for this retake. Kalanzin down low, able to isolate and get 2. Not able to connect onto the 3rd, but he's put Tui's in an advantageous position. Still a difficult one, can't connect on any of them. As MIBR get to 9.
Good job from MIBR. They were aware of the previous rounds when the bomb was planted at C for Loud, that Loud liked to get proactive. So this time, just spamming smokes. Maybe we'll get a replay on that. That up-down was great to deal with less. Oh, it wasn't even a spam. There was a little gap above that CT smoke.
The sliver.
Yeah. Maybe Loud feeling a little bit of pressure now. Not aware of all the tiny little intricate things. That little gap in the smoke. That's usually always there. I don't know if there's a smoke that you can really do to deny that.
Whatever money advantage Loud had is gone. At this point, a Guardian and a Stinger.
Oh, and it's going to be a refight as well. MIBR playing such a good game right now. Look at this. Already the instant punish on the Sadhak. Not letting him get away with what he's been getting away with in the previous rounds.
I thought Pincata was going to be able to get away there, but Paula deals with him without any real resistance.
Down A.
What a clean round from MIBR. And again, it wasn't necessarily a gun round, but it was a correct guess on where to put the stack.
Making a statement. I mean, to make a real time adaptation to how the enemy team is playing, that's not an easy thing to do, and it's not an easy thing to execute, because it is kind of how do you approach taking A space from now on forward.
We'll see what adjustments come on the other side of this timeout. Loud down 3.
This might be another pinch on the C mound, taking front B main control. Oh, this is fast off the rip.
It's very fast, but the satchel's not far enough. The eye over the top to try to light him up. No kills found yet. Kalanzin down to 12. Meanwhile, a decisive punch back across the middle of the map. The crunch was there, but it was ill-advised.
It was a cool and unique idea, but that showstopper, if you're not dead on the target, it just feels like it just does pepper damage.
It just wasn't enough go from Paula.
Yeah.
And so he comes up a bit short. The crunch across the middle of the map doesn't time up right.
Oh, now it's just easy pick'ems for side allowed.
And the worst thing in a situation like this is giving a round like this over to Loud. When it's this clean, when it feels this decisive.
But I feel like a big factor of what just happened and why Paula wasn't able to get that much space is the agent nerf. I mean, those satchels, they got nerfed. That extra little step that he would have had in that last patch with those old satchels, he would have gotten that kill 9 times out of, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but he definitely would have gotten that kill. I swear, because he would have gotten an extra foot forward, would have seen Kawazine fully exposed, and that rocket would have gotten that kill. So we're seeing now the Raze nerfs in full effect, and Liazi and Paula are just gonna probably go for a save. If I'm Liazi right now, my economy is thriving. I'm going for my ult orb.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I die, who cares?
One away from it, go fight. But chooses not to.
Maybe a little too timid for my taste. Paula gets taken out by less there.
But again, they've got money for days. It should not be a concern.
Yeah, that's exactly why Liazi should have went for it.
Wait,
that's what I'm talking about.
The neon stun hit him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, old Raze, those satchels, I mean, you're soaring through the sky. That tiny little change made a difference in that set play from MIBR. Again, it was a good read, though. It was the right call to make.
They continue to guess right. It was a really cool setup here out from MIBR. They've got the pin and the alarm bot just on the outside of it to give any early notice of anyone trying to push through. Meanwhile, they're aggressively fighting A.
Yeah. Stepping into the neon wall, as I stated previously. Ooh.
A dink onto Sadak. That's very nice.
No heal on the board either.
And of course, it was Paula. I mean, they're getting what they want, MIBR are. They deny the early C space. They deny the early A space. They funnel Loud in towards B.
And that molly for the broken door entrance, that's the delay that type of space from being taken.
It's only going to tag one. The counter Nightfall used.
Still not popped.
Nobody can hear anything. Tui's manages to get the spike down with Gecko's help. And Sadak.
No way.
Oh, there's so much space here. There's so much patience, too. Oh, no. Liazi's able to turn on him. Snaps. Paula gets another. And now the lockdown that has to be dealt with.
You can't even deal with it. This is like nearly impossible right now.
No, I mean, you have...
No.
Oh, Kawazine. Again, still finding his one. Now things turning back over. MIBR with numbers advantage, but Liazi falls rich just 2, and that was the diffuser. Now Mazine's left alone. Not a lot of time to do this. Not even taken to half. Able to settle onto 1, but it's messy. I don't think he's going to have enough time anyway, is he? I don't think so.
Didn't get half. That spam was so clutch from Loud. Another round conversion. This is a banger map so far.
Yeah.
Both squads fighting. What a flick. Nice little 180 from Liazi there.
In a situation that should have been 2.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I don't blame them for not turning around. That alarm bot is in that smoke, but somehow Sadak, he was able to just finesse around that alarm bot. Find that timing on the flank. That was a round that I feel like MIBR had full control of again.
They've let a couple of those get away from them. And the gap is now down to 1. 3 ults on the side of Loud. Oh, tap at the door. Well, Sadak get through there.
Oh, he wants to so bad. But a little self-control this time around. Maybe for good reason. Will be a re-clear onto A. They want to get Mazine off of that line. But Rich is here to support.
No eye, though. At least not yet. 2 seconds away, so it should be coming up right on time.
Oh, good stun.
And a paranoia. But Sadak is through.
Oh, now we're seeing that Viper wall just come up. Allows everybody from MIBR to escape. They baited out utility, not taking a single percentage of damage.
And a tap at the door from Sadak. I mean, the mind games that Loud are trying to play here are really nice, but MIBR continuing to show discipline. How many times have we seen Loud try to do that? Try to manipulate rotation, try to draw a response out from the opposition.
The problem is there hasn't really been follow-up when they've done that. Good trade from Liazi onto Loud, onto Les.
But Loud getting out onto B, getting the spike down. Sonic with ult online. A swing out, just a warning shot. But Rich is able to drop the opposing Neon. With 2 HP left, manages to stay alive, at least for the time being.
Here's more.
How do MIBR get back into this? So that's another one. Tag, Tuis can just go in and hunt. But he's concerned about what's waiting on the other side, and wisely so. Now, attention drawn back towards Rich as bullets soar across his face. He's patient with it, disciplined, but finally getting punished. Can Pancada get this back on his own? Oh, they're both so weak. He's gotten it down to one. Mazina has to stick it. No choice. He's just got to hold it the whole way, and he does. Pancada just a second late as MIBR get to 11.
There's no way. What are we watching right now?
I will survive.
This is so insane. The very last second, that smoke fades. Pancada, I don't blame him. It's just a 50-50 at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
It could be half. I feel like this was the disconnect in the round, though. Sadak, he kind of just peeks into heaven alone there. Maybe he thought his teammate was posted on the angle the whole time. Oh my gosh.
You're right, that's a 50-50. And Pancada was in a miserable position, but very well done by MIBR. Sticking the defuse, getting up to 11. And I think more importantly, drawing out a timeout from...
Would have been the second of the series that he won.
But MIBR, what a response in the face of the beating that they took on Ascent. In the face of how rough things look in the first half too.
And it's not from heroics per se. It's honestly a team effort right now across the board. They're all helping each other get out with the Viper wall. Utilities being used correctly for the retakes.
They look notably more comfortable here.
Here.
A little bit more warmed up on the stage for sure as well on an individual level. Artson has had some big moments.
Mazine's really far ahead of this. He's past the door. TP's across, now getting caught. He's in a miserable spot here. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get out. He's stunned, he's dead! Sadak pushing the pace, getting to... Oh, that's not what he was intending to do there. Meanwhile, Rich, as everything drops into chaos, Pancada's trying to reposition. Rich, the steady hands, gets another, but ultimately falls. Now Loud with the numbers advantage, the spike planted out onto the site. Paula and Liazi left to figure this one out, and it's all onto Liazi now. Les cleans up both. Loud gets to 10.
It got scrappy, it got chaotic. Throwing bodies around. Sadak accidentally hits his jump on a peak. Pancada TP's in alone, but leave it to Kawazin, huh? And then Lester just clean up the round. Yeah, it wasn't pretty by any means, and that's been most of the round wins for Loud, I feel like, in this map.
Yeah, on this side, yeah.
But they're just never out of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty. A win's a win.
This is such a tough spot for MIBR here. Loud in a gun round, down one round, and MIBR left with pistols. We've seen some really crazy thrifties, I feel like this year, more so than in the past, but I mean, if things hold as they should, we're gonna be tied at 11. Well, or they won't. Rich gets one, Mazine gets another, hang on.
Good Omen Flash as well. It should be an upgrade for Mazine. There's the Vandal. Yep.
Coming through. There.
Sadak's gonna try to slip into hell here. Oh, there are so many targets he's gonna have to deal with. Yeah, he's gonna get sucker punched. It's leaving Tuis on his own. MIBR have handled this so well. And yes, perhaps a little bit too proactive from some of the members of Loud, but Tui's in a 1v3. There's no way they hit that. MIBR are thrifty to get to map point.
And MIBR screaming after winning that round, as they should. Nice timing from Rich there. Mazine just playing his part, using that shorty to his advantage, holding that smoke the entire time. A good thrifty win. Look at the hype. That's something to wonder at for MIBR. It was a team that was lifeless in that first stage. They haven't had a win since kickoff.
It's been a long time. It's a long, long time, but they're knocking on the door of taking us to sunset. Meanwhile, Loud still with a fighting shot here. Sadak has his ult online, 4 rifles around it. This kill is big. Oh, this fight is so big.
I like the confidence from Rich, willing to take that front B fight. Playing to win.
He was out of his seat just a few moments ago.
This operator might get a lot of value here if there's no smokes being committed from the side of Loud.
It makes sense. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen it more, given that Loud are running a double initiator comp. Paula with the op. What a shot from Kawanzin.
I can't believe he just got that kill.
Oh, what's the response out from MIBR? Knowing that you've lost that, you've got to try to go back and protect it. Sadak going aggressive, going forward. Op picked up.
This is just a save at this point. You got to keep the guns. Your economy's not that great.
That's exactly what MIBR are doing. You're absolutely right, Trey.
There.
Wow.
Just like that.
I mean, it was MIBR that had the upper hand on the exchange. Rich tagged down Pancata a little bit low in front B. But Mazin on the jump spot at A main gets dinked by less. So he was sitting at what, like 10 HP that entire round?
Oh, and then Kawanzin.
And then that peak, that was filthy. That's a kill we usually see the operator get.
Yeah.
That's
Kawanzin was so clean with it. Now MIBR are trying to keep some of these rifles up, and this is very costly for Loud. It's not like they have an abundance of money here.
Yeah, they made it very, very costly. Yeah, their money isn't that great. This might come back to bite them. Oh, looks like Les will be able to buy at least one member a rifle. Oh, Pancata as well, so the economy should be good.
Sadak's gonna have light armor. No ult. He used it in the previous round. Meanwhile, potentially one round away from OT. Potentially one round away from Sunset. Paula with ult online.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Spam already causing so many problems. Liazi down to 25.
That might play a factor later into this last round.
You wonder here how much space Loud are going to want to take. They don't currently have the spike in hand.
This is a spot we haven't really seen MIBR play too much. This back rubble area. And it's the fade nonetheless. So
yeah, it's normally the Omen.
this might be a really good bait from the side of MIBR. Mazin.
There's the paranoia setup. I think that's what they were looking for. And very nicely done from Loud to draw it out early. With a minute left in the round, they don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, I wonder if that gives away that MIBR wants to fight it though. Maybe too early of a paranoia.
1000%.
Yeah, maybe just a jump spot there would have been the better play to bait out that setup. But I mean, they're getting ahead of this. I think it's going to be a late hit onto B though. This is all just a fake. It's all a ruse.
A paranoia dash. Sadak not able to connect onto the shot. But as all of that's going on, see, they drop the Nightfall. They have the Thrash. Not connecting, but Rich is. And this is not as clean from Loud as they would have expected, as they would have liked. They're down 2 numbers here. The ult's going to make things even worse. MIBR so close to pushing us to Sunset, as less than Tui's are the only ones left standing with 10 seconds left. The spike's still not planted. Tui's forced to try to tuck, to try to get the spike down, managing to do so. Now, you have to deal with the 5 remaining members of MIBR. So heavily outnumbered, so heavily outgunned. Liazi's weak, sure, but they have so much they can do here, but hang on. They've gotten it down to a 3v2. MIBR have to get active here. They have to push forward. They don't really have a ton of utility to do this here, but it's gotten down to 1-2. He's a 1v3, not able to connect the shots. He got so dang close, but it was not enough. So MIBR will...
having to invest a bunch of his own utility, which if MIBR play their cards properly, if he has a nade, I mean, most notably on any type of freaking post plant, he's chilling. Excuse me.
You're gonna get fined for that.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Apologies.
Right,
it's Screwface. He got me good yesterday. He just got back in the dome. My bad.
MIBR on the attacking side. And Dizzy just creeping over, but Rich managing to stay alive for a little bit longer, take some damage. The spike's still sitting really far back as MIBR feeling the map out.
And such aggressive A space already gathered. It is a retake here at A, so I'm wondering if MIBR are going to play this post plant a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in your face, knowing that if they allow Loud to set up, it's pretty much disaster. And yeah, Loud already have an idea that this is happening. They re-cleared mid without making any noise. And there's no trip on this flank. Cam is still up in the back of elbow.
Artsine, you can see Spidey senses tingling a little bit. Puts the cam up, turns around, but now understands there is pressure coming in from the other side. Meanwhile, Les striking just when the iron is hot as Artsine falls. They've gotten the spike down, but they've lost a couple members along the way. Sadak very weak here.
And yes, MIBR have control of spawn right now, but it's not planted for them. So this space, it's not the best to be gathered, but they kind of have to. They're left with no other devices.
Rich is in a really tough spot here. He's gonna have to request help. MIBR has to come back and assist him as Liazi falls. Paula not able to settle, not able to be steady. Rich on the swing, gets one with him, but that's all it is. Mazine left in a 1v3. Tuiz has already gotten the defuse to half. No real challenge. They've bullied him away from stopping the defuse. Loud, get the pistol.
That was such a cool pistol round setup from start to finish. That deep camera in elbow, and then a trip basically holding all of lane walk up, and then the protocol to re-walk down mid. It allows for that crunch to happen from the back so well, because that late camera that pops up, it basically forces Artson to be put in such a bad spot. Who are you gonna fight? The neon behind you with the gecko, or are you gonna run into lane that's not smoked off and there's just two players dialed in on you?
Yeah.
So a really nicely set up round.
Yeah, both of those options suck. There's no good option there, 1000%.
It's tough.
And so Loud with a couple of Bulldogs into this round. Tuiz is already fallen.
And wait a second. Paula, who couldn't connect any of those sheriff shots in the previous round, he does it this time around against what is pretty much a full buy from the side of Loud. And he gets out alive. 6 HP.
Spike drop. But he's still alive and kicking. MIBR slowing things down a little bit. Ooh, almost getting punished there.
Kauzin looking snappy with it. He had a 50% headshot rate on the last map. No surprise. I mean, he was getting so many of those kills.
Loud have a lot of presence here towards B.
Yeah, the problem right now is if no one breaks this Gecko eye for Sadak, he might get punished here. We've seen this happen time and time again. That's a nice entry.
He might, but Kawanzin's able to turn it, hit the fault line just like that. And that's such a good setup.
Spike down B.
Kawanzin's position there was perfect. He was mainly concerned about helping out across the middle of the map, but as soon as there was a hit and there was contact B,
30 seconds
he could
left.
drop the fault line. That delayed the entire hit from MIBR.
Player standing.
Wow. As all that happened, Liazi, he took that free real estate up middle, and now he gets that kill. It's a 3v1 for MIBR.
Spike planted.
Pancada with a Bulldog in hand, 2 smokes, no flash. None of the members on the side of MIBR have any armor. Rich is already down to 12 HP. But for Pancada, it's going to take a lot more than just that. And MIBR are so smart with how they're playing this. Look at that. They're not giving him any fights. They're taking big steps back. Understanding that there are safety valves, 3 of them built into this round. And Pancada has no choice but to go hunting and trying to find targets. A sidestep of the fallen, but at this point, I mean, it's done. Wow. What a response from MIBR.
In what shots to be landed? That was ridiculous. We got to see a highlight of all these Sheriff one-taps over. Les, he just got absolutely obliterated. This, oh my gosh. Oh,
That was very
so
nice.
clean. Right here, I thought for a second it was going to be a cosmetic stun moment for sure.
I mean, it was. It definitely was. I mean,
Big shout out to Liazi amongst all that chaos that happened at B main to just walk all the way up mid, take all that space, and basically secure the round for them.
Les the only one with a rifle. Meanwhile, the buy on MIBR side is so nice. Full armor, full rifles. Sadak's already down.
Man. Ooh.
Remember, that's only Vandal on the side of Cloud. And it hits the ground.
Spike
It's
planted.
a 4v2 just like that.
He's able to scoop things up. But there's, I mean, the problem with this situation right now is MIBR has so many tools to stop any sort of attempted sneak deny, or defuse, excuse me.
And you're done.
Paul is the first to fall though. Wingman will help. They don't have any smokes. They don't really have anything to do this. So they can drop, MIBR can drop their own smokes and then try to spam through it. And that's exactly what Artsine does. He gets 3 on the round. MIBR get their second.
And this is an MIBR that's looking really confident right now. The first map, it was what it was. Second map, they had full control over it. It took them a while to close it out, but they got the job done. And now, after that thrifty round that they won, to follow it up with a round like this, great work from the side of MIBR.
Yeah, very clean.
I'll take it.
Enemy spotted. B.
Very, very clean. And I think that will likely continue to be the approach. And that's how you've seen the meta develop on Sunset. Drop the smokes, spam through it. It's like Pearl all over again.
Yeah. Nightmares of that map. Wonder when that's going to come back around.
Les 1 away from his ult. Artsine has his. And again, MIBR exploring the middle of the map here.
Trying to bait out any type of utility. They're waiting for proactivity. They're waiting for a trap to be set. For good reason. You see 5 members now of Loud geared up and ready to fight in this middle of the map. Nice little jiggle there from Liazi. Gets info on 2 members trying to fight. That should be the cue to take some space on the extremities. That's why you see B main gathered. You see a prod going up A main. All at the moment. Yeah, this has been the story, by the way, of even last map. Paula besting Sadhak in the head-to-head duelist battle. Sadhak had, what, 4 kills?
You mentioned too, some of these ults in the situation that they're currently in. Rich is 1 away from his ult. He's gone exploring so far up mid here. And the smoke to deny on the other side. He should, oh, he's going back in for the fight. He had safe passage out, but instead tries to deal with Loud on the other side of the smoke and falls because of it. Paula able to steady the shots onto Pencata, cleaning him up. 30 HP, but they've gotten so much of an advantage already.
Yeah, and already 3 members playing out, leaving Paula to his devices. If he can get another kill, he's got a job well done. Oh, I say that. There's a little flank here. Battle of the flanks. Paula cannot connect. Now everyone's smothered into B main.
They might be comfortable here. The problem is they're kept so far away from the defuse. Les is making a lot of noise. Still snaps on Artsine. That's a ridiculous shot.
Disgusting.
Mazine has to go forward. You have to deal with Les. You cannot leave him back here. And Les stays up. Kawanzine cleans it up. The defuse will come through. A great round from Loud.
That was ridiculous from Les and Kawazine. Cleaning up the round. Tui's was just there just for support, cheering his teammates on. Just an extra target to look at.
Dropped.
MIBR had full control of this round and just slipped away. This, I wanted to speak about. That was full prep right there. So convinced that Pancata was playing there. But that initial kill, that head-to-head kill onto Artsine from Les, who was tagged by a Cypher camera.
Yeah.
That was insane. He was so precise on that flick.
And so we're tied at 2. A couple of big ults to speak of here. And a little bit of aggression from Loud. Oftentimes we've seen MIBR controlling that area. But this time a paranoia, the ult pop from Sadak, and no target given from MIBR. They don't want to deal with this early aggression. They don't want to deal with this fight.
Gecko Eye will be able to be gathered once more for Tui, so he will have it for the retake on whichever site, if need be. That's a very deep smoke. Wonder if MIBR decided to disrespect this. Oh, this could be deadly. This is all off the jiggle of Pancata. It's going to connect on the 4 members, but
there's a smoke. Paula pops his ult. There's no punish.
But look at the time now.
There's still 50 seconds left on the clock. There's still a lot of time for MIBR to play this out.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of baiting out certain sets of utility.
I think part of the big issue here too is that MIBR don't have space anywhere on the map. I think that's the big takeaway. But with the thrash forward, they turn their attention back towards B, and you've got the stack from Loud. You have all of the Cypher utility here. Paula gets, decapitated through a smoke. The swing up from Kavanzine's only going to get 1, but they managed to get the spike down. Ardzine on this late flank across the middle of the map. And again, it's another spam through the smoke. It's another dump of utility, but Ardzine's the only one left standing. The snap onto the first is good. It's not planned for him, though. He's got to get active. He's got to try to take this fight now. And, I mean, Tui's, don't give it to him. He's gotten it down to the 1v1, but the defuse already comes through.
Again, these retakes of Loud, they're just too strong, too much for MIBR to handle. I thought that MIBR had a good grasp of how to deal with this, but towards this B site so far, last couple of gun rounds, they haven't been able to convert. And the spam game, they're just seeming to lose it. I feel like if you're gonna want to plant out, you need to have at least a couple members sitting on a Phantom, not that Vandal where the tracers are easily seen,
right,
and you're able to be spammed back. With the way that MIBR are playing, if they actually did make use of the Phantom, they'd probably be winning a lot of these rounds. It's so weird how something that micro can be the difference maker.
That kill that Les got onto Paulo there was so free. I mean, just these spams through the smokes again, you're right. I mean, that probably needs to be part of the conversation here, is if you know that that's how B's often going to play out, the Phantoms might be the way to go. Until the timeout.
Les, his counterpart in B, to start that thrifty pretty much. Open up that B site, or his lurks in mid where he's been getting a lot of value. Even that last round, he killed what? Pancata top mid on the rotate from A.
It's been very impressive. You just saw a one-way smoke come out from Pancata from B towards A main, but MIBR are already ahead of it. Look at how far up Paula is.
Yeah, Paula's been calling this bluff multiple rounds now, and he has a Vandal there holding all that space. I think they should have a good idea. MIBR should have a good idea that it's the Cypher playing on the A site. It is kind of interesting, though, because Les's utility is so spread. Camera and B main, trip top mid, trip A. That's a nice pick on a player who's been pretty much being a complete menace in the middle of the map. But again, the slow creep up. Now Paula taking yet another step forward.
And he's done so quietly this entire time.
Oh my gosh, if he peeks right now. He's not going to, but my gosh, he would have found a vicious timing.
I really love how patiently he's playing this, though. He's not forcing it. He understands that the space that he has gained and the pressure that he can apply is infinitely more valuable. I don't know how Tui's hit that shot, though. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that outlaw is so strong.
Liazi tried filling him behind it. He was greeted by Sadak on the other side. What a mess this has become. The fault line down to Rich, snaps onto Kalanzine anyway. Mazine, nothing but a sheriff. Committing to the TP.
Cancels. Should be heard.
Was it? Pancata is the only one who would have heard it. Mazine playing on the other side of the smoke. There's no tap of it yet. Rich on the swing. He's gotten it halfway. It's gotten down to 1v1. Rich gets the third on the round. It's gonna get MIBR it as well.
What was that, a 2v4?
I think so.
Unreal. Cosmetic stun. Rich holding his ground in elbow. It wasn't pretty whatsoever. But man, it worked out perfectly for them. And Mazine even just getting a kill there. Look at this. Couldn't quite connect, and then he does this. So confident. Mazine played that really well as well. I mean, the Omen ult could be anywhere. I guess you're right. Maybe they didn't hear him cancel it. And a facepalm from the side of Loud. Rightly so. That's the second thrifty. But yeah, Paula gets taken out early on there. But the space that he gathered to allow his team to come back
was huge.
To A, that was actually ridiculous.
I mean, it was round defining.
Took both timings.
There's just no other way to put that. This time, there's no early space taken for Paula towards A main. Loud, wise to it. Try to insert Kalanzine off of the fault line. They realize they take some of the space back. And this exchange of utility here has been so oppressive on both sides.
Yeah, so much utility used from the side of Loud. That should dissuade MIBR from wanting to take any of that space back. Rightly so. Les will be first contact. Doesn't see any players because he was unpeaking at the wrong time. So now MIBR might have a good idea that it's just Les on that B site. They hear the rotations coming out. They're going to cut it.
Kalanzine gets caught. Trying to rotate through. Sadak might as well, and he does.
Nicely called around so far from Mazine. An execution almost flawless. Ardzine does get taken out, and all of a sudden,
that's a weapon. That's a rifle upgraded in the hands of Les. They get the spike down, but it's not planned. I mean, it's not planted for Loud. This is really nicely set up from MIBR. Yeah, Les has a weapon, but they're gonna have to be proactive in this if they want to get this round back. The one benefit they have is take a look at Pancada's positioning. But MIBR is so ready for it, so wise to it. They clean him up, and that, I mean, that should secure the round.
Yeah, this is very tough to retake against. Les would have to go nuclear here, but the crossfire is too much, and Rich is looking to disrespect.
Paula.
So is Paula, the rookies, fired up.
Paula with 3 on the round as MIBR take the lead back. Rich and Lias both carry an ult into the next round, too. They're set up really nicely.
Again, this was great IGLing from Mazin. He saw all the utility in the early round, was able to deduct what the setup might be from Loud, and just that slow creep up mid when they hear the footsteps. That's the affirmation that the calling was correct.
So what do they do with these 2 ults here? Do they try to end B again? I mean,
Yeah, can't go wrong with going B with Breach, Ultimate, and Gecko Thrash. You could pick up that Thrash once again.
yeah,
This
you're
might be a punish on the less. You better get out of here really quick.
He manages to get past the smoke. Thrash goes out, clears the site. Pancada from up top tried to play that angle over the smoke.
Wow.
Wasn't able to find any success. And they're going to try to funnel out here. They want to take a little bit more space, and they've managed to do so. Look at how far up MIBR are back site. Now giving the space back, but Loud have to invest utility to take that space.
Oh my goodness.
Another clean snap out from Paula. And the Rolling Thunder, forcing Loud back. Forcing them to play MIBR's way. As the smokes come through, Loud realize there's no way for them to really get in this.
They're taking the fight to him right now. MIBR look like they're full steam forward, full confidence ahead, and it's off the back of the rookies. That was a great entry from Paula early in the round. Rich looking confident in the middle of the site, going back and forth. And most of the rounds they've went towards that B site. They've gotten that spike planted. And it's just been the post plants when they're playing out that they just can't get the spam. This time they decide to play up, take the fight to Loud. When there's no Omen smokes on the field, makes it a little bit easier. No Omen flash that you have to deal with.
That's a fight you expect Pancada to win there, but Paula has just been ridiculous.
He's definitely gotten better as the series has gone on.
On his LAN debut, no less.
Yeah, and it's his raise. His raise is actually really good. I feel like on Jet, you know, it's one of those characters as players. Jajamo, Aspas. To put your name up there with the greats, something to be said. And he definitely has something to prove.
Somebody's there.
A little bit of early aggression from Loud, and it's off of a punish too. It's really nice. The fault line out from Kawanzin. Sadak takes the space, gets a kill with the Stinger, and then gets out.
Yeah, and now this should paint the picture for Loud. Oh, no way! I actually don't think that they know you can crouch under that camera. Otherwise, they would have committed onto that.
Sadak has popped his ult. Artsine is playing across the middle of the map. I thought he was going to catch a timing into market. You got to be cautious here. Again, Artsine's in a really good spot. The wall goes up. The spike's still not fully committed.
But what was that from Tui's just standing in the open?
Les is so caught. The paranoia hit him, but they still haven't cleared it. They haven't gotten out on A yet.
Yeah, because they have all of B. They're going back.
And again, it was Artsine who not only held mid, managed to take market, and now he's going to be the one to cut off the rotations. He's in a really nice spot here. But I wonder if you expect him to get active, because if he's too patient with it, he's going to botch this whole thing. Manages to get less, tries to get Pancada and does so. 3 on the round for Artsine as MIBR get to 6.
Another great round called by Mazin. And Tui's, he got caught just in the open, running through basically screens area here. Off of a first blood that Sadak got, like, he's just so unaware. No smoke there. Maybe it faded.
Yeah.
A miscommunication from Pancada.
Yeah, nothing to cover elbow, you're right.
Yeah, not letting him know that there's a gap right there. And I feel like right now we're seeing a Loud that is feeling an immense amount of pressure. On a series that, you know, a lot of teams themselves probably thought was going to be easy breezy.
Again, early aggression out from Loud. They're doing a decent job of setting up Sadak with Kawanzin's utility. We saw it in the previous round. We saw it here as well, and he gets his one, but this time not able to get out.
Yeah, and when you're even numbers, it usually tends to favor the attacking side when you go 1-for-1 like this. Too many spots to hold. You're kind of spread thin. That's why you see a 1-1-2 right now on the minimap.
Meanwhile, MIBR quietly heading back towards B, quietly heading back towards the 1. And yes, there's Cypher utility kind of littered across the site, and Les is close by.
Oh my gosh, the late Cypher ultimate. And look at this, Artson on the minimap. I know there's a lot of players geared up towards B right now, but he's just taking all of elbow control.
And they're just really, they're giving up A entirely.
Wingman's down.
They have some presence B, but Rich making a lot of noise, trying to manipulate rotation, trying to draw him back into B, while the rest of MIBR hits A.
Sadok's right into this. So is Les getting that kill in the mid.
And now they're going to understand where the hit is headed. The paranoia is really nice. Can Artsine swing and punish? No. Dissuaded by the fault line, dissuaded by the wingman.
So awkward right now.
MIBR, they've met resistance every step of the way here. Every single area of the map they tried exploring was shut by Loud.
This time, Mazin overcooking for sure. But a good read from Sadhak and the rest of the members of Loud to just hold their ground and not give in to running around the map like they did in that previous round, where MIBR basically made them run in circles and closed it out.
That kill that Les got, you mentioned it while it happened. It was a spam through the smoke, but that unlocking the ability for him to ult secured everything. Because up until that point, there was complete paranoia, zero awareness of where they were playing on the other side. It was very nicely done.
It's a tough spot to be in, and they made it work.
Right there.
That early Cypher ult from the side of Artson gave full info on the setup of Loud.
Remember, the fault line has been often coupled with the Neon dashing forward and getting a kill and then getting out. This time, not the case.
It's all feint. They're trying to punish the walk-up of Artson on the opposite side of the map.
Spike dropped.
Multiple players jiggling. You're going to see an Omen Paranoia come out if Artson decides to take a step forward. As this is all happening, the same thing is happening on the other side of the map. A little bit of a body block.
MIBR can punish this really nicely, understanding they have a timing window. That doesn't connect, but Kawanzin does. What a shot.
I can't believe he sticks around and stays there when there's a raised rocket on the board.
Yeah, and you hear both satchels pop. There's a lot of confidence there. And speaking of confidence, Les recklessly swinging into another. Mazin and Artsine left alone. Les is weak, yeah, sure. But they're just gonna get picked apart. And a situation just went from bad to worse for Artsine, somehow managing to get another kill, but Tui's has gotten the defuse to 75% already. He can hold this the whole way.
A nice retake from Loud. Kawazin, that kill on the rocket. That's crazy. He stuck around for so long. He was so confident he was gonna hit that shot.
And I love how decisive MIBR were with it. They saw the fault line come out at the very beginning of the round. They knew that Les was close by because they'd seen him, so they understood there's a timing that we need to hit here so that we can get out onto B. It was just Kawanzin hitting that ridiculous shot.
Yeah. I mean, to just stay there when there's a rocket on the field, like imagine if Paula just does a little jump right there looking towards Market. Yeah, he's probably gonna kill Kawazin.
Yeah, he's dead for sure. So right before we hit the last round of the half, MIBR will call a timeout.
MIBR ran away with.
Doesn't seem, oh, actually, Loud might be doing some of this early aggression again. Kawanzin, 4 from Loud, excuse me, currently posted up A. And that's the look right there. As the fault line goes out, Sadak dashes in, then dashes back out. But they're able to get the orb into Kawanzin's hands, who now has the Rolling Thunder online.
And that's why they're so willing to give that B site. Yeah, Les is the first point of contact here. He's gonna try to get a pop shot and probably get out.
Oh, I didn't think they pulled the trigger on this so fast, and they've hit all 4 as both dizzies go up. MIBR falls. What a slaughter across the middle of the map. Artsine tried buying his time in the cage, tried finding comfort and concealment in it, and it was all for naught. What a strike from Loud. And it was all set up from the very beginning. The fault line into the orb, into the most decisive moment. 6-6 at half.
That was so sick. Full setup of Les on B. The moment he makes contact in mid, yeah, that is the key to pull that trigger on that Breach ultimate and just converge on mid. I thought they were going to play a full retake B setup, but why not take the fight to them? They haven't done it once, really. They tried doing it earlier on in the half, but no one was there. This time, multiple members of MIBR there, and they get punished.
I think there's a lot of question about how much fight there is in MIBR in the face of a hit like that. Thank you so much, guys. I want to very quickly draw us back to something Mimi said at the very end there. Getting ecoed after winning the pistol was so devastating, and for MIBR, that's been a large part of their success. They've had 4 so far.
That's ridiculous.
In this series, yeah. And for something like that to hit potentially here in the second half where Loud are fighting for playoff hopes would be devastating. We'll see if MIBR are able to pull something like that off on the defensive side. So far, Loud with the advantage. Sadak getting the opener.
That was quite the opener as well. IGL v IGL.
Gotta go.
Sadhak just absolutely decimates Mazin. And now you have full advantage. Group up. Hit a site.
There.
Very fundamental stuff right now from the side of Loud.
Yeah, situation ripe for reset. Dash back out towards B. Should be able to get the spike down as the trips are cleared. The space is gained. The advantage is leaned into it. Seems like it's not getting any better for MIBR. Sadak seems to be coming online, seems to be coming alive.
If he keeps this up, he's making a statement. Oh, he gets dropped down by Liazi, but he did a very good job so far.
I mean, he did his job as a Neon. He gets the 2 kills. He tries to deny some of the space. He forces MIBR back, while the rest of Loud take a step back, assume their post-plant positions, and now the spam begins. The tap comes through. It hasn't gotten to half yet as Rich has struggled. Guarding, oh, it's not going to do it, but Loud settle things as MIBR tried to take the fight to them. And the setup was there. Rich drops the wingman. MIBR turned their attention to fight towards Loud, and it was just not enough.
Yeah, the numbers advantage was 2 in favor of Loud at that moment. Sadhak put his team in a great spot. Oh, that's a crazy kill. This one is even crazier. One taps Artson, who's been phenomenal this map. Even the last map is a big factor of the reason why MIBR won that Lotus. Now, you mentioned it. If Loud let this one slip away, it would be absolute disaster. And this was the guy that opened it up the last time around. Can't connect.
At least not yet.
You see how scared Loud are to lose a round like this.
And they're going to have to wait out this one way. And then strike. Meanwhile, Liazi still has his fault line up. So off of contact here, this could be devastating. Also keep in mind, Rich is kind of joining the fray. You see him rotating over. There's the fault line, but the stun. Wow. Oh, but the stun's the other way. So Mazin's able to punish Kamazin. Sadak tries to dash out, but he's paranoid. This is really nice from MIBR again. I know there's still a lot left to do, but this is ugly already.
And numbers in favor right now for MIBR.
I mean, look at the health. Look at the health on the side of Loud.
I was going to say that Raise nade could clean up a lot of these weak players on the side of Loud.
Oh, and they're going into the stack.
And there's full breach utility on the board too, and they're running into him. This could be actually ridiculous if there's a 5th eco round.
Left.
4 members here, 30 seconds left. Not a lot of time to figure it out. Less falls, but 2Es. Ever the steady hand for Loud. Swings things back their way. Meanwhile, for MIBR, no real opportunity to upgrade a weapon, so they're going to have to stick their pistols in. It very well might be enough. Sadak falls, 12 seconds left. The spike still not planted, still not committed. 2Es gets 4. Can he clean this up on his own? Pancada's around. He gets the last. That was so dangerously close to being disgusting.
Disaster avoided for Loud. 2Es stepping up huge. 13 and 6. That was all him. Pancada, he was too weak to really support that much. He got those 2 entries. And then these 2 at the end. Liazi getting a little too anxious, going for that jump peek. I don't know. Sometimes the classic right click, it hits. But this time around, not a single bullet connected.
I mean, that had all the makings of a mess.
Right?
But no real time to think about it, no time to dwell.
Ah, what a great job dodging that from Sadhak. Don't expect mechanics like that out of this guy.
Meanwhile, Paula satcheling back forward to try to take the fight. Liazi spamming through the wall, Sadhak down.
He does all that work, ducking and dodging all this utility, and then he just gets spammed through a smoke. That's the most Valorant stuff I've ever seen.
Tui's with the Sheriff. He's got the spike in hand currently.
Thought that was going to be a really good breach. Set piece of utility, but actually doesn't reach far enough to push out Paula into the open. So not fearful of that fight. Now a reset to the round. It was B main space gathered while all that was happening. Pancata's really deep into B main. And it will be a market split. Les has an idea that there might be someone here in the lurking.
Mazine managing to get away, avoiding the thrash, staying alive. But he's playing really far back. Meanwhile, Artzine's up kind of by himself here.
He's pretty split right now, this flash. Oh, he dodges it, but he gets dropped anyway. Les, so quick.
And now the paranoia being invested by Pancata towards spawn. They've gotten the real estate. They got what they needed here. And now they can take a step back. Now they can play towards their utility. Now they can play towards spamming through smokes.
Here.
MIBR doing a good job of taking space early on pretty quickly, but this Raze nade is not going to get value, something they are probably going to wish they had once they identify no one's playing in the actual site.
Oh, I like the way Les is going about this. A reflank in towards mid. So while MIBR are focused with trying to deal with the spam through the smokes, Les can strike when the moment's right, or Counting can clean it up on his own. But the defuse came through, they stuck it!
Oh, got killed at the last second. They almost stuck it. It looked like they were about to.
I mean, that was the narrowest of margins.
Yeah, that was close.
I thought that bar was all the way full.
So far, Loud, on these rounds where they get the spike planted at B, they're able to get the spam, something that MIBR couldn't do on their attacking side that well. So I wonder now if there's a change of pace for Loud. Maybe they play a little bit more aggressive on the next post plant. Yeah, that's so close. That's a pretty big watch party from the side of Loud. Nice job, guys. Good support for the squad. And that is the bonus win. That's a big round to win.
MIBR still have a little bit to bring into this round. Rich has a Guardian, Mazine with a Judge. And that's why you see how he's playing right now. He's a little bit further up, playing on the other side of a one-way, and Pancata gets dropped.
It just feels like these are the hardest rounds for Loud. I say that.
Not anymore.
And they quickly bring the round into their favor. Oh.
I don't think Rich stopped running. I'm pretty sure he's still swinging. That's just insane. But again, there's still not enough on the other side. Less with 3 to clean things up as Loud get to 10. And at this round that's coming up, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a slowdown here a little bit here, because for MIBR, this is a must-win round.
Yeah, and some of the rounds have been really close. They're just not going their way right now. The clutch moments are leaning towards Loud. It's been in their favor.
So Loud have been tested. They have been pushed by MIBR. Still searching their first win of stage 1, of stage 2. And just when it seems like they're within striking distance, Loud starts to separate.
Yeah.
Starts to create a gap.
I mean, it's been close because of the macro game from both these squads. It's been this back and forth, but now we're seeing the individual prowess and the players of Loud come out on top. They're just on point. Speaking of on point, that one tap was on point. We gotta have a one tap counter for this guy. He's came into the league and he's had at least, what, 4 or 5 in this series?
1 bullet, 1 kill. That's ridiculous.
So many moments from this guy like this so far already. It's kind of crazy.
Note here, Cohen's seen 1 point away from his ult. Seems like they're gonna try to split. We've got a lot of space mid here. And they can just push into the smoke and continue to go if they want to. Mazine, wise to it, takes a step back.
Yeah, just less slowly and methodically clearing out this market area. They're gonna explode off of this trip.
Paul has to be careful. Stunned. Rocket hits it onto Les. Preemptively pulling the trigger, but not understanding there's another one on the other side. Tui's not striking. Paula punishes 3 on the round for him. What a round from this kid.
4 to close it out. Nice connection. He's heating up right now, just in time for MIBR.
And I think part of the conversation we were having earlier was around how it felt like Loud were starting to create separation, and honestly, it was off the backs of their heroes. It was off the back of Les. It was off the back of Kalanzine to create this gap, and that's what you would expect out of your stars. But MIBR have a star in the making of their own. That's a big round from Paula.
Yeah, just picking one side or the other this time. Taking these fights, cleaning up the round. Great work from Paula into that.
And that was a must-win round. So for the kid to execute is very impressive.
Convincingly too. Now MIBR have a chance to start building up some type of economy. But this is a very fast timing in mid from Les. He hasn't really been doing this.
Clears the trip mid. No response from MIBR. You look at the minimap.
Wow.
Not really reacting. Meanwhile, the paranoia out towards B. Also note the ults that Loud have.
A very fast set play. And yeah, they don't have to invest that breach ultimate. This in the post plant with how they've been already playing them, it's going to be disastrous for MIBR. How do you deal with this? You kind of have to go out with the first layer and not get punished by it. Or it's so hard to execute that.
Or just draw it out as early as you can and then reset. The problem is they don't really have enough of the tools of their own to do that.
Yeah, they're taking way too long here. Everything rests on the hands of Paula on this flank.
Oh, he gets caught by the trip.
Off your feet!
And Sadok's able to hold the line. Rich will fall. There's the Rolling Thunder that we were talking about. Sadok was a little bit too far up. Punished by Mazine. A 3v3 for the round, and now the spam starts.
Wait a
Liazi,
second.
he's gotten it to half. He's not moving an inch. Oh, it stops again. So close. Mazine is too far out of the play. We've had too many of those. We've had way too many of those.
Loud are unstoppable on this B site post plant. And when you give all that site for free like that and they're able to work with full breach utility, Kawazine still had his fault line available. He didn't even have to invest the breach ultimate right away. It's just too much to deal with. And then, yeah, they just fall back on the spam at the end of the day. It's been working for them every single time. Why not?
That's so hard to deal with. If you don't have anything to really disrupt the spam on the other side of the smoke, there's a good chance you're going to lose it. Unfortunate way that plays out.
I mean, the B-side has been the name of the game all series long for Loud. This time, there's not too many players of MIBR to reciprocate, so that info gathered in B main, it's all for naught for Loud.
Now MIBR with Rolling Thunder of their own. Rich has his thrash.
He's got to be careful here. He might get punished.
Oh, they've got a little bit of help over the top. Liazi still has his fault line. As soon as the flash comes up, he knows he has to take a step back. And there are reinforcements. If Loud overcommit to this could be a problem. Meanwhile, active denial of space from Artzine, starting to creep up mid.
He's going to hear all this commotion. Is Kawazine aware? He is not.
Oh, no. Only gets one, though.
But it was right on target. How did the bullets not connect?
This gives Loud so much more space. They were trapped. But it just wasn't enough. And now the paranoia out towards B, intended to manipulate rotations back that way, while the rest of the spike, while everything else on the side of Loud goes A.
It's all up to Rich and his devices here. He's all alone.
He's got a thrash, but no. Whoa, okay.
That's a great kill.
That's a massive start. If he can play his life, if he can stay alive, this is big.
Almost converts onto less.
Now Loud with so much more comfortable of the spot to navigate. They invest the Rolling Thunder with 10 seconds left. Spike not down. He's got to commit to this here. Is there anything to disrupt? That aftershock looks like it was going to be enough, but it's not. Tui's falls. They managed to get the spike down to 2v2. Mazine and Liazi have to go forward. Pancata falls, left alone. 70 HP. The swing out from Liazi is beautiful. That's MIBR, stay alive.
What a wide swing from Liazi right there. And then Mazine as well on the retake, coming through lane, getting that one tap on the first player and elbow. Great work. But honestly, Rich, look at the second shot. The crosshair's right on the head. It just doesn't connect because Tui's turns his head a centimeter. But yeah, a must-round win, and they get it. They're still in it right now. That was a one tap as well from Mazine.
Love a good fraud pop off after a round.
And all of a sudden, the ult economy is in favor of MIBR.
They've navigated the toughest part of closing this out, is getting past all those ults that you just mentioned. You're absolutely right. And so now MIBR with that advantage, Paula falling in a duel that has often gone the way of the new kid.
Yeah, and that's a duel that he's been willing to take all half long. This time Sadak, he's ready to punish it. And it's going to be an insta speed up B. Every single time they've gone B, they've converted the post plant. Artson has to come up huge here. He has to make something out of nothing.
I think the big difference here, though, is that Rich has his ult. They have something to disrupt the post plant. They have something to disrupt the spam. But if they all crumble before they even get to that point, it's not going to matter. And now the Thrash is used from so far back. Artsine falls. Liazi, yeah, I mean, Liazi has to make a play here. It seemed like they had an advantage. They had the conditions to make something of this. And they fall apart. Loud gets the series point.
And I was saying it was Artson that had to make a play there. Instead, it was Mazin who wanted to take things into his own hands, but he drops before that Thrash is able to come. And all of a sudden, just like that, Loud are on match point, and you don't have a Thrash to work with. That was such an early peak from Mazin. He went way too early. And these post plants from Loud, this time they played way more in. That's the change. They didn't all play out. So maybe that's why Mazin jumped the gun a little too early. He was so used to it just being Sadhak on site alone.
Being free space.
So many micro things that Loud, they're able to change because of their repertoire.
And now look at the buy for MIBR, man. It's abysmal. But again, 4 Thrifties throughout the series. Maybe another here.
That would be ridiculous.
The most pivotal, the most important. They have 3 members of Loud who have already crept up towards mid. The spike's not even currently at hand. If they can create enough space, it's scooped up by Pancata, and then they can end wherever they want.
Yeah, but they're doing a great job of keeping 3 players. Hey, I guess they're going to rewalk it anyway.
Les has already gotten ahead of the smoke. Rich has to be careful. What? He connects. Now they slow down.
These rounds for Loud, they get so dicey, they get so shaky.
They have to leave Sadak here, or else it's a weapon upgraded. So he puts the wall up, draws enough attention to at least have a couple members here, but look at MIBR, they're a step ahead of this. Liazi's already out, Paula's already out. And that paranoia is gonna confirm their suspicions. They were right about their guess.
30
the
seconds
spike
left.
is headed B.
I feel like if they allow this spike to be planted, though, it's not going to do them any type of favor. The double flash play, it connects, but doesn't.
They haven't committed to the spike yet. Tui's on the tap. The falling comes through. 13 seconds left. Numbers the way of MIBR, but control the way of
10
Loud.
seconds left.
Not committing. Every single flash attempting to be turned as Mazin has gotten a couple. The satchel out from Paula, and that's another round the way of MIBR. It might not have been a traditional Thrifty, but the outcome is the same.
Oh my goodness. MIBR and these Thrifties, the mechanical talent on this team, it's definitely showing. So many good things to see from MIBR right now.
3rd eco of the map.
Bro, this Bucky shot was ridiculous. This I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah, this is a mess.
MIBR was ahead
Yep.
in that aspect, but that Bucky entry from Rich, that was truly it.
And again, we've got to give credit to Mazin there on the calling because Sadak's wall goes up A. They understand there's some pressure, but they rotated away ahead of it. Now Artzine's already fallen, but look at Paul's position. 1, not able to find a second. And so now Loud can venture forth towards B with confidence, with numbers advantage again, but is this something they let slip?
Spike planted.
A 3v3 now, the spike planted. And again, no big ult to cause chaos. It's really just in the hands of Mazin. Can he get the best of Tui's here? Tui's who's been electric all series. Patiently waiting with Crosshair trained. It's heavy. The bullet goes just a bit wide. And now the paranoia out. A thrash in his face. It's got to connect here, and it does. That's going to be the end of Mazin as Rich has gotten it to half. Can Rich and Liazi do it on their own? There's just not enough. There's not enough room for them to breathe. There's not enough space for them to sit comfortably on this. It's gotten down to 1. Liazi's gotten 3 on the round. There's just not enough time. They played it beautifully. They played it perfectly. They